are up.
Hey, Grant, on those previous ones to be loaded, they were all done, right? Okay. Take a look in there. I didn't move them to the loaded file, but just take a look. There are 2 new ones in there I put today. Budget, but just confirm those other ones have been loaded. And then I will just leave the budget ones in there because we needed 30 budgets.
Those other 4 have been loaded.
Got it. I'll move them out. I'll move them out, and then we have the budgets.
I'll load those into the system today.
Oh, are you wishing him happy birthday on the show?
Who?
Palette expanders.
Which who?
Grant. General Grant.
Oh, is it his birthday?
Are we doing anything?
What is he, like 8?
5. Are we doing anything for him?
We got him a gift card to his favorite brewery.
Good.
He's a drinker?
He knocks them down as soon as they put them up. Jack, beer, vodka,
This guy?
all of it.
He's a drinker.
He's a drunk.
No,
Solution for your joint pain and surgery.
I don't think one drunk is
Trust me, I've heard some of the best stories.
never happened.
I remember when that guy showed up and gave me a half a bottle of, who did you guys have, some whiskey company around here? Like Shanahan's Whiskey or some shit. Yeah, so he showed up. They gave him a case to give out to clients. So he shows up to this one client and gives him a half-drank bottle. I laughed so fucking hard when I heard that story. Can you imagine?
844-999-EXIT or visit timeshareexitteam.com. I'm Tom Martino for Ideal Home Loans.
Yes.
Do we have complaints about timeshare exit team on the table? I just want to advertise.
Probably. When's the last time we haven't? But I haven't, nothing recent.
I don't recall.
These things, credit optimization, which
Nothing
work
recent.
with you to optimize your credit.
Because none of our people use them anymore.
Small tweaks to
Are
your
they
credit, like paying down a
is this
certain
other guy still on?
Oh yeah, Finn does very well.
They also pick your term loan. You can pick any term you want, 10, 11, 12, 13 years, 18 years, 20 years, 30 years. If you pay it down, you don't have to go
If
over
people just give it a chance, the association
for the
works.
next 2 years, they refinance you free of all lender fees, and they have pre-approvals, which is just
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you
Why are you
so
such
much.
a superstar? What's going
I
on with
just got
that?
back from New York.
But what was that all about? Was that, is that out of the entire iHeart thing? Like everywhere?
Yes, so each
Isn't that-
region, an AE1 top producer.
Go, 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 Jose.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. We are here helping you to solve problems and answer questions and take complaints and to make your life just a little easier. So all you have to do is call. My headsets aren't working, so I'll need another set. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. How is life and how can we help you? The questions we ask every day. We have guests today we'll introduce in a little while, but you know what the show's all about? I hope you do. It's about helping people, solving problems. It's really the only show of its kind anywhere, and it's really unique in this way. The commercials are congruent with content. We stand behind people we advertise with, people on the referral list, and things you hear on the show, so we want feedback, unlike anywhere else. I mean, can you imagine watching Channel 9 and a commercial is on, and you use those people, and you don't like them? Where do you call? Nowhere. There's nowhere to call, nowhere to get help. The only way to get help with advertisers is on this show. It's the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Now, not only do we brag about that, but we absolutely love getting results, recovering hundreds of millions of dollars over the years in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. So, what is on your mind today? What follow-ups do we have, guys? What are we working on right now? I heard you're getting ready to serve somebody. Should we keep that quiet?
No, we don't have to keep
Who
it
are we
quiet.
serving?
We're serving someone Deputy Dan knows.
Okay, well, what is
Someone that put the screws to his kid. Can you imagine?
Co-signed on that loan, and then
Oh, so we're going after. This is a labor of love inside the house.
It's a good learning.
but he also called in the show.
Now this is this is a problem that really people need to know about.
Yep.
When you co-sign for something, I don't even like the word co-sign, because co-sign denotes some kind of a less responsibility. You co-sign. You're taking full responsibility when you co-sign. Absolutely 100% liability. So, Co-signing, don't ever co-sign for something you don't want to take full responsibility for. It's that easy. If you co-sign, you're on the hook. So, what's going to happen? You had to pay it, or your son had to pay it, and now your son is going after the guy that screwed him. Is that the way it...
That's it, yep. We're going to try to get him, and hopefully he has some money.
Let's talk. What's going on? Tom, you are a landlord, is that right? Or, oh no, you're calling about a problem with the landlord. What's happening?
Oh, hey, Tom.
Hey, man.
Hey, I haven't received my deposit yet. Is it $1,800 deposit?
All right,
well, never left me a notice or anything.
If most landlords in their lease extend the mandatory 30 days to 60 days. Without a lease, without a written paragraph dedicated to security deposits, the state says 30 days. But most landlords put in 60 days. You cannot extend it more than 60 days, even in writing, even if you agree to it. So, Tom, when did you leave?
September last year.
Oh, my goodness. Now, Tom, another question. Did you leave on good terms?
Yes. I asked her to let me know, because we had shampooed the carpets before I left. And I paid someone to do that. And then we...
See, here's what I want to tell you and everyone else when it comes to this. Even if you owe money, if they don't give you a complete written explanation with an accounting, they automatically lose.
I smell treble damages.
Yes, treble damages for this award by statute. So, you already waited way beyond the time you have to wait. You go directly to small claims court, and you sue for 3 times the amount. If I were you, I would cite in the small claim document the CRS. You have to look it up. And what I would do is I would say, I'm looking for this much money, 3 times my initial amount, because according to this, blah, 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 and then do it. And at small claims court, you don't need attorneys to do that. So that's what I would do immediately. I mean, if we call her, if you warn her, she'll probably pay you if that's what you want, but I think you should go for the gusto. Is this person still in business?
Yes. I had texted her 2 weeks ago, asked her about it, and she said that she decided to keep it all.
Well, when did she decide that? She had to let you know about this.
No, she didn't. That's when she told me, and I said, well, I never received anything.
Take her to court.
Yeah, small claims court. What the hell, huh? You're going to get a lot of money. If you get a judgment, there are ways to execute it. You know, so many people think, Tom, why do you say small claims court? Because a judgment in small claims court is as good as any judgment anywhere. And it has teeth. And if you execute a judgment, you would be surprised what people will do. So many people don't do it. Let me tell you from an expert, an attorney that told us, Frank Ball, how to do it and what he does. Listen, here are a few strategies. You have a judgment, you do interrogatories. Those are questions. You ask, do you have any bank accounts? What are the accounts? Where are they held? What are the numbers? You ask, again, this is general information. You specifically have to come up with your own. You may ask, where do you work? Because you want to garnish wages. Do you get a paycheck? Are you a W-2 employee? Do you have any accounts receivable where people owe you money? Do you own a home? What is the mortgage? You ask to find out the assets. Most of the time, these people either ignore them or they do them incomplete. If that's the case, you then go to court, but you have to do this, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. You ask for a contempt citation, and that contempt citation will put a warrant out for their arrest. Now you're thinking, oh, I'm not going to wait for that because nobody's going to go looking for them. You're right. You can hire someone to execute the arrest warrant.
No, but if they get pulled over for something like speeding...
Oh, you just did it. You just said no. You just said no and then agreed with me. Remember that guy yesterday said we did that? Yes. And you can also, that's right, if they get stopped for anything, Mark, they throw them in here, they take them in. But isn't that funny? That guy said sometimes when people agree, they start the sentence out by saying no. And I said that never happened.
I don't think I just did that.
Yeah. So anyway, what we do is after that, when they are arrested, and Mark did this one, when the guy's arrested, you ask for the bond to be equal to the amount owed.
And you can get those interrogatories if they show up to small claims court and you get the judgment before they leave. You tell the judge, I want them to fill them out right now if you have them ready. Then you have them set, ready to go.
But if you get the interrogatories, fine, then you use the information to garnish wages. If they ignore it, you get a warrant for their arrest, you get a deposit for the bond, and then you basically are going to take that money eventually.
We had Jay Lopez thrown in jail over $3,000 out of Denver when he was in Douglas County. I found him down in Douglas County in a different court case, called Denver up, said, hey, this guy did not answer interrogatories, and he's got a bench warrant out. Come get him. He's right here.
Tom, there are many ways to do this. The interrogatories are powerful. You can then do what's called a writ of execution. These are unbelievable. When I mentioned this one time, a writ of execution, my son said, Dad, people are killed for this? You know, because here's what you do. You ask for a writ of execution, which gives you the right. Now, there are some exclusions in the law. You have to bone up on this. This is information, not advice on this particular case. You have to ask for this writ of execution. Now, let's say they owe you $3,000. You can take stuff from them equal to $3,000 or what you think is equal to $3,000. You take it. You take a sheriff's deputy or someone. It's like an eviction. You have to have a peacekeeper. You serve them, and you go in and grab the stuff. We did this on a spa manufacturer, no, a spa dealer, who took down payments and did not pay. So what we did is got a judgment through an attorney. Then we got a writ of execution. We went to his place of business and removed hot tubs. We did it live on the air. And the hot tubs are then sold. The people are paid, or they take the hot tub. Any money left over, if they take the hot tub, by the way, they have to buy it. So theoretically, they're buying it, but then they get the money back because they're owed the money. So at the end, whatever money's left over goes back to the defendant. But, Tom, there are many ways to do this. So what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to go to the county clerk and get a form for small claims court.
Okay.
Hey, Mark, would it be against, I don't know if it'd be against any attorney regulations or anything, can we post a PDF that they can download?
Yeah,
I wonder if we're allowed to, are we allowed to do it?
Yeah, why not? We can put a link right to where they can download it, but it's, what is it? It's
Yeah,
PD 250 and 249.
yeah, and I can send them the stuff. I got a little small claims court.
Yeah, you can print it out. It's so simple.
So, do you see how good this show is and what we do for people?
Yeah.
If you have any issues, problems, questions, or complaints, give us a call. The number, 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. We have some guests we'll introduce right after this.
Hey, put that on hold, bro.
Oh, sorry.
How's everything? How are you feeling?
This report is sponsored by H&R Blood.
Tom, 1 minute, Revitalized Health 60 spot. 1 minute.
Hi, Cindy, I'm Amanda. It looks like it might be blocked. We got an off-ramp there. Solid backups. Pack your patients on that stretch. In the high country, got a crash westbound by 70 at Sale Pass. That's got the highway shut down right now. That's the parking lot. If you can avoid it, just don't travel along that section for now.
You sing Happy Birthday to me. You're the best singer.
I am the best.
I know it.
Happy birthday. I love it. I can do it in Elvis. I can do it in Metallica.
You do Marilyn Monroe to John F. Kennedy?
Oh, hell yeah.
Happy birthday,
When I turn on the mic, I'm going to have complete silence. I just want to let you know. You can talk all you want, but when I turn it
I'm
on...
leaving. I'll be back.
Oh, don't do that.
She was,
I'm coming back, Tom. Be ready.
I heard
every credit deduction in dollars.
Marilyn Monroe was a chicken head.
Revitalized Health is the name of the clinic where they do hormone optimization, not just replacement, but the optimized hormones for you. And they also do cosmetic procedures. For pennies on the dollar, they are doing discounted procedures with high quality, of course. When I say discount, don't think anything of that. They do fillers, Botox, and all of that. They also do thread lifts for a few $100, and these are permanent results. Well, you know, they go away with time, as anything goes away with time, but they are permanent in and of themselves. Whereas once you lift that area, it's done and it stimulates your own collagen. This is Revitalized Health. Revitalized Health, they are a clinic that defies aging. That's what they've dedicated themselves to. Three brothers got together and started this practice. That's why I came up with this, thehormonebros.com. Yeah, it's easy to remember, so why don't you go there and visit them? They're at 470 Ken Carroll. Find out more. Thehormonebros.com.
Doesn't want to own their home faster, but can it be done without paying more money? Here's how. Quit paying compound interest. Why is it when you borrow $400,000 from home, pay back $708,000?
Which one's that?
For the $1,800 for his deposit, if we, at $1,800, get the truck with them, he should just be advised there.
Oh, easily. The judgment. I know. I mean, she outright, unless she can produce something. Here's what happens sometimes. They don't put the right place to send the notice to. So she goes, hey, I did look. I sent it right here to this address, and it came back to me. Then she's covered. But I'm guessing she has nothing.
Plus, she could have told him, well, hopefully in the courts and stuff.
Doesn't matter if they said it verbally. She's got to have some kind of proof. Actually, I don't know exactly what the statute says. The statute, I don't know what the statute says. I hate when people say statute, and their diction's wrong.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's a hearing and
You're such a child.
You guys realize the Scientology network.
I read that. I have no idea. I asked them where are they. I didn't hear any of that.
What are you guys talking about?
The Scientology church or whatever it's called is advertising heavily during the show. Someone said
It says new TV channel is advertising during your show.
for Scientology Network.
Have you heard the spots?
I haven't heard the spots, but I've heard that they are advertising a lot. They're trying to drum up new memberships. All they got to do to get my attention is bring the spaceship over and show it to me. I want to see the spaceship. Okay? Yeah. Faith is one thing, but show me the spaceship.
I think you gotta be on like level 7 to see the spaceship.
That's the problem.
That's 180,000.
That's only 180 Gs.
Get volume savings on your next job at the Pro Desk and save time by ordering at lowespros.com.
Did you read about that girl from Smallville that was part of this sex ring called Nevixm or something, NVIXM?
Isn't that old news though?
I don't know. I just saw the interview the other day, man.
What'd she do? It's called the clear
She brought sex slaves in, and she became what they refer as a master. If you bring enough sex slaves in for the head honcho, then you become what they call a master, and you get your own sex slaves. The ironic part, though, is she was the woman that played, Superman's friend or whatever on Smallville.
Oh, yes!
It was crazy.
That's right.
I was reading that shit, man. I never heard of anything like this.
I saw a brief blurb that she was involved in something like that.
Yeah. She became a master.
Wow.
She brought a ton of new recruits or sex slaves.
Where were they bringing them from? Just any foreign country?
No, I think they're all U.S. based. I don't know that for a fact.
Really?
So she was master of her domain?
She was.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Kim's got a problem with an employer. Kim, what's going on?
I'm still working for the employer. However, I've been with them since 2011. In 2016, I accepted a full-time benefited position. I resigned from that full-time benefited position in September of 2018, and they're still taking out my benefits for them. They're still taking
When
out
you say you resigned from that position...
From the full-time position and stayed PRN, which is as needed.
Right, and then now you do what? On call?
I'm a nurse. I'm an RN.
I understand. Did you resign from a full-time position with benefits to a what? To what? Part-time?
Part-time. Not really even part-time. It's a position called PRN.
Okay, is it a 1099 position or is it a W-2?
It's a W-2, but it's not a benefited position.
Okay, and they're taking out the full amount of benefits that they were taking out when you were full-time?
October, November, and December, they took out the full amount, and now they're still taking out $65.29 every paycheck. And I don't have benefits, but they don't want to give it back to me.
But it sounds so simple to solve.
they won't give me the money back. They said that
They finally did stop. They finally did stop collecting it, right?
No.
Oh, they're still doing it to this day.
No, when I tried to get a hold of the HR department, they gave me to the health advocate,
Kim,
and then I had to talk.
Kim, please just ask: are they still taking the money out?
Yes.
Okay, so every paycheck, what comes out? How much?
$65.29.
Okay, so right now, what's the total?
$930.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
And it says for benefits.
Yeah, it's for health benefits. It's a premium.
And
payment.
no one, I mean, they won't even listen to you. You're saying, hey, come on, help us. By the way, we have some lines open at 303-713-TALK. No excuse. People email me, say they can't get through. I tell you, I'll let you know whenever one is open, and we have lines open at 303-713-8255. Okay, so you call them, and okay, what do they say? We know it, or we're not doing it? There must be a response.
I called the health advocate.
Yeah, what's the response?
It's not Genesis, and they said, oh, we'll have to escalate this to the corporate office, and then I'll let you know. So they've been making me talk through a third person. I can't even talk to them directly.
This is insane. So from HR, you go to an advocate's office.
On the phone, because...
Are they part of the company? Is this advocate part of the company?
I do not know. This is the number that my HR person gave to me to try and resolve the issue. I call her. She says, all I can do is escalate it to the corporate office.
Okay, when do they say it's going to... When do they say you could expect the change?
I still haven't gotten that far. All the corporate office told the HR person that called me back, that health advocate, was that they were allowed to take that out because I didn't fill out a form saying that I wanted them to stop taking it out.
Okay, so they are thinking they're entitled to that, but you don't have coverage.
No, not since October 1st of 2018. They sent me a sheet in the mail saying as of the 1st of October, you will no longer have benefits. I was aware of that when I resigned from the full-time position.
All right. We don't have to go over this. We heard it. Okay. Well, do you want us to call them? Do you want us to get involved? What's the name of your company?
Genesis Healthcare.
Wait, you work for a healthcare company?
Yeah, I still am PRN there. That's how they're still able to take the money out of my check, because sometimes I pick up shifts there.
Well, again, we have a couple ways of handling this. We can do them in parallel. We can call them and get a hold of it, and get a hold of somebody. But you can start a small claim action. Do you think this is going to jeopardize your job? It shouldn't, but do you think it will?
Probably, but I'll just stop working there. I'm PRN.
Man, there are so many people looking for you. No, really.
I worked a couple of different jobs. I stayed with them.
There are people paying premiums for PRNs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I worked for some of those people. I stayed PRN there because I've been there for years, and I just stayed. I don't need to stay there. They pay less than anybody else does.
Okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to start a small claim action. I'm going to call HR. We're going to get the people involved. Hold on, Suzanne, get the people involved, and we'll have somebody make a phone call. That's all we can do. Hal, welcome. And by the way, line open at 303-713-TALK. What's going on, Hal?
Yeah, hey, Tom. I just wanted to give a thanks. We called you about a month ago about our house, the new house that got built, and then one of our doors kept leaking during any rainstorm. Exactly,
and I said, let's see how big of a problem it is, and we were going to have somebody look at it for you, but what's going on?
Yeah. Well, since you guys called them, one of their guys came out and actually said that we definitely got their attention.
Good.
Because they've been checking it out. They've repaired a couple things. They actually added soffits. Turned out we didn't have soffits up there, too, while they were doing this other leak check. They added the downspout, and they've done checked up on some of the flashing there. They're not sure if the downspout that was on the other end is just causing it to back up or something, but they're still trying to figure it out. So come this rainstorm, we're going to see if it's leaking, and then they'll repair whatever damage is done.
Oh, this is great. I want you to keep us informed, Hal. You know, sometimes we just make a phone call, and it helps because they know we're watching or listening. Even if people don't regularly watch or listen on YouTube, on Facebook, on the iHeartRadio app at referralist.com, or on KHOW or KRDO or other affiliates, we have people from all over. I ask people who listen to tell me where they're from. We had some from Russia, Alaska. But here's the point, okay? We're not allowed to talk about, you know, ratings, so to speak, but we have a giant audience. That's all I can say. If I say any more, I'm getting in trouble. But I can say this, the #1 podcast in all of Denver. So we are definitely listened to, and we spread the word. Right now, new home building is going crazy. There are a lot of issues. A lot of issues when it comes to buying a home. People say, should I get a home inspector? Well, you can get a home inspector all you want, but unless they actually fix the problems you find, it's not going to make much difference. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Crackerjack Mudjacking in the house, our guest today. And Jim is with Crackerjack, the owner. They've been in business 20 years. I want to ask him a question. We say that most concrete problems are caused by voids underneath, meaning that the concrete sinks in one area, heaves in another, or swells, or cracks and breaks, and most concrete problems can be summed up. Other than, you know, people that don't finish concrete right, it spalls and does stuff like that. I'm talking about the structural part of the concrete. What, 90% of all the problems are from voids, would you say, Jim? 100%? What would you say?
In Denver, probably 70% are voids you have sinking.
There are holes underneath.
Exactly.
Why?
When they backfill, they don't compact well enough. Our soils, we have sandy soils, we have clay soils. They don't compact it well enough. So over a few years, that soil will sink. The concrete sinks with it.
I was driving to work the other day, and I see a guy with sand, shoveling sand in his driveway. He had it formed up. It looked like he was getting ready for a pour. When you add sand to the substrate, is that good?
Any kind of aggregate's good in the substrate. Sand gives you 100% compaction. Without compacting,
so sand by its nature is compacted.
Absolutely.
And that's why a lot of people add sand, but it adds to the construction costs. Right?
Not very much.
No?
Sand's pretty cheap, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, okay. So why doesn't everyone, you know, dig out and add sand? Why don't they do that? Would that stabilize things?
It's the labor, and you just mentioned to the last caller, you know, there's so many building problems. They're moving along on these houses. I've been on new construction sites, 100 homes going up, not a compactor in the neighborhood. They just don't take the time. So,
I mean, you can assure yourself, if there's no compaction, there will be voids.
Absolutely, and they create my future with that.
Wow. So it's just a matter of time. So in addition to not having compact soil, there have to be other added conditions, like, for example, moisture, right, or not?
Yeah, water infiltration, downspouts dumping too close to the house, dumping too close to the driveway or the sidewalks. The water will undermine. And
so there are ways to prevent problems. Now, even with compacted soil, you don't want water or any of that stuff anyway, right? It's just not a good idea.
Absolutely, yeah. Proper drainage away from the house, the foundation, the concrete work is critical in any project.
So when something is heaving, how can you possibly help by pumping more material into it if you have a heaving, which is a lifting on a corner?
See, that's the unfortunate situation in Colorado. We have a thing called bentonite clay. When that gets wet, it swells. We can't help them.
So heaving is not helped by voids unless it heaves because it drops somewhere else.
Exactly. If it teeter-totters and one end comes up when we lift the low end, sometimes it will go back down. But if the clay underneath is swollen, only repairs to tear it out and report. But we give people free estimates, and we look at that, and we have no problem advising them if it's heaved, then we can refer them to somebody that can do something else.
303-713-8255.
This report is
Tom, 1 minute, ideal 60 spot, 1 minute.
From CDOT and the
Jim, you don't do any curing or anything like that. You know, we don't do any structural work, only flat work.
It will reopen. Winter driving conditions popping up in the high country drive. Right now, crashing laws are in place both directions of I-70 between Silver Base and Elton. Just be careful. Back in town, got a rollover wreck there on the westbound side of I-70. Has Havana. Solid backup chambers there. Patients on that.
Road base is wonderful.
The weather forecast. Rain, snow mix, blowing snow.
20 seconds, ideal 60 spot.
Tonight's no video tonight, 11:21, right now, fog.
Even roadman, you have to come back.
Traffic
I'll say still look at next week.
6:30 K-House.
Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans is with you every step of the way to provide a seamless mortgage experience. Visit rocketmortgage.com.
Next week.
Licensed in all 50 states.
What am I doing?
Housing lender. NMLS number 3030.
What's that?
But you'll be back Thursday.
Ideal home loans. For your next ideal home loan, you hear me say this all the time. What do I mean? Well, they have the ideal loan because you get to pick it. You may not want to go back to 30 years, but you want to get the lower rate. So you say, hey, let's do 24 years, or let's do 21 years, or let's do 20. You may want to do a 30-year again. Whatever you want, they will do. They also have credit optimization. You know, you can go beyond approval. Approval is one thing. Credit optimization means you are already approved, but they may say, hey, if you pay this balance down by just $40, it puts you in another tier. Or your address is not correct here, your previous address. I know that sounds crazy, but they have an algorithm to tell you how to optimize your credit, and they do it for you quickly and efficiency. Don't forget the interest rate guarantee. If you close, they'll refinance you free of all lender fees over the next 2 years. That's 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com.
Who paid a family bill? You thought you should have happened with one of us? What then? But taking the time to do something about it can feel like pulling teeth. Life insurance is something we all say we're going to do. Instead, we drag our feet because we want to deal with all the
Would you do,
paperwork and fine print.
excuse me, take that off real quick, Dan. I know, Bishop.
Of the time for any of that. With Ethos, there is no hassle. Even better, Ethos offers policy plans at every budget, and in most cases, there's no need for a doctor's appointment. Take just 10 minutes to apply online. It's that easy. And you'll be taking the first step in ensuring your family has the financial security they need to handle the unexpected.
Ethos keeps it simple so you can protect the life you're building and the people you love. Apply online in just 10 minutes. Get a free instant quote now at ethoslife.com. That's ETHOS life.com. EthosLife.com.
Does everyone know what happens in the spring in Colorado? Hail. But you also have problems like in parking lots or whatever. Dings on your car where it doesn't damage the paint. We recommend Flexident of Colorado. Listen, these guys prop up all over the place. They pop up with these tents like cockroaches to fix your dents, and then they go away. There's nowhere to get help. But with Flexident, they've been here for years. The most experienced, Flexident of Colorado.com. See them, 303-619-6273.
Store making weird noises. This is Dave Logan. If you're having issues with your
Hey,
garage,
Flexident did an amazing job
They
on
are
that
so
dent.
freaking
On that dent, remember that dent?
I've used John's garage doors in my
No,
home.
that was-
Folks, you should too. Your garage is the entrance to your home, and you want somebody you can trust. Next time you need a garage door repair or replacement, call Don's Garage Doors at 303-738-DOOR. That's 303-738-3667, or online at donsgaragedoors.com.
Attention, if you've gotten a letter from the IRS or state about back taxes, please listen. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, urging you to call Larson Tax Relief. In fact, don't wait for a letter. Call Larson Tax Relief with any back tax issue, because they'll eventually catch up to you. Write this number down, 844-LARSON TAX. Whether you're behind 1 year or several years, owing $10,000, $20,000, even $50,000 or more, call my friends Ron and Jack Larson and their team of experts at Larson Tax Relief. 844-LARSON.
I do not understand this. I mean, it just, and it seems to be weather related. I know you would think I'm insane, but our lines, we have 7 or 8 lines going at one time, and we can't get any calls in, and people complain.
There's no rhyme or reason.
You don't think it? What is it? I mean, I try to figure it out. It's not weather when people are.
There's no rhyme or reason.
It's just amazing.
It could be weather.
It's like every 5 or 6 days. I don't know what it is.
Traffic was like wide open till I hit the tech center. Then it was dead stopped. It was weird.
Now, you must feel
it's so amazing.
Do it by the book, and you better get it. You need the law offices of Joseph.
I can't wait to get to Vegas, man.
Why?
Because it's my birthday weekend. I got a I got a killer room. We've got some of the best restaurants out there booked, man. I'm looking forward to this new restaurant. It's in a Green Valley ranch. It's just...
You like gambling, right?
No, not too much, man. I'm mostly shows.
I'm Tom Martino, and this hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank Duran equals the best, equals no obligation to stay with him. You can drop him at any time. Really good people, that's how they do it. They don't force you to stay with them. They really don't. 303-920-1622. So welcome to the show. We have, of course, Crackerjack Mudjacking, and we have another guest on the referral list. He was on the referral list many, many years ago, and with another company. Now he's with First Call Heating and Air. I like the name First Call. I really like that name. In fact, it's very cool. I like names that say what you are and what you do. I like Fix It, that name. I like Quality First. I like names like that. First Call Heating and Air. Cool name, Bill. Thanks for being here.
It says it all.
First Call. Hey, Bill, where'd you come up with the name? I mean, I'm surprised it's not taken.
I was surprised myself in 2011 when I first ran after it.
So you got this name in 11?
Yes.
Wow. First Call.
It's First Call, 1ST Call, Heating and Air.
Yeah.
Not spelled out.
It's like First Bank.
Yes.
That is kind of tough, though, when it comes to websites.
Well, yeah, is that how the website is?
The website is 303hbac.com.
Okay, cool. He's one of the guys that realizes your website does not have to be your company name. Now, if you can get your company name, you should get it, but not to use in marketing. There's no reason to. Unless, of course, it's a really good website. Like 303 Pro Auto, I think is cool.
Was just going to say that.
I'd rather have carnanny.com because I call him the car nanny.
Yeah, but it's his phone number, too. I mean, that's what's so cool.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. I like it. I like, I gave an example of a dog wash place, and people go through conniptions to get their name in there to where they put hyphens and all that crap, and it's so stupid to do that. You don't need your name in your website. Why do people think that? And so, this dog washing place was such a long name, and I said, hey, what about Pooch Scrubber? See, people remember. How about, Revitalize Health was fine. There's nothing wrong with that name. But didn't they even have a hyphen or not? They had something weird. I said, hey, you guys are brothers. You're cool. How about the Hormone Bros? And then I also got Hormone Bros. So that's the kind of stuff we love doing. We love talking about marketing and stuff.
I can't wait to meet the founder of that BioT in studio soon. I can't wait to meet this guy.
Yeah, he's a genius, yeah. BioT, that's cool. Cool what they do. That name doesn't really tell you what they do. It's bio, and then TE stands for testosterone and estrogen. And it can be, hey, Mark, you're selling a car. What's happening? Mark? Did he hang up?
Must have sold it.
He must have sold it already. But here's what I'm going to answer the question anyway. We get this question about cars. We get it about everything. I can't address everything right now. I will address cars. The best way to accept payment and transfer title. There is no best way. It's almost impossible to do it on your own. Without help. Some people trip through it and get to it. Some people go to their bank and say, hey, my title's here. Can you guys get it? And they do an envelope draft, which technically comes from the old days where the money's in the envelope and then they send back, open up the envelope, or the envelope is a draft on an account. And then inside the envelope they put the title work. It's just very complicated. Right now, we love Blinker. Blinker's a cell phone app. A smartphone app. It's also a website, blinker.com, and we love it because they issue all of the docs necessary that you sign on your phone. You can sign with your finger on your phone, and they transfer the money. And Mark, you did it, right?
Dan did it. I did it.
When you did it, they tell you what to sign and when to sign it.
They do everything right through the app. I mean,
you didn't have to think about it.
I did not, man. All I had to think, I knew what the dealer would give me on trade-in.
You met the guy so he could drive it.
Yeah. So what I did is I actually found out what my year, make, and model were selling at dealerships, and it happened to be like 12.5. So I listed it at 12.5, and I got 12.5 within 5 or 6 days. It was crazy easy.
Okay, so
the guy financed the whole thing. I had nothing to do with that.
But if you meet someone for the test drive and they say, hey, I'll give you a cashier's check, no check. No checks are safe ever. I know no one wants to hear that, but they're not.
You wouldn't do it anyhow because it's all done through the app.
I know, but never take a check ever. But when it comes to Blinker, they do it for you. Now, Mark, are you listening? You're back again, Mark?
I am, yeah.
Okay. If you use Blinker, they'll take care of it for you. The biggest problem with accepting payment is the clawback. If you take a check can be clawed back, a credit card can be clawed back, a wire can be clawed back. Everything that they do can be clawed back, and you have no control over it. What you can do is you can accept a wire, verify the wire, pull the money out of the account, and then here's the crazy thing. If you pull it out of the account and you have other accounts, a bank would even go back there to another account of yours to claw it back if there was an issue. Cash, oh yeah, cash is fine too, but the best way is to do verified funds through ACH and a third party, and that means a dealer, a broker that you respect and know, or Blinker.com, which is an app.
Or the wire's the next best. It can be clawed back, but man, it's really tough.
Yeah, a wire's good, but why would anyone want to go through that brain damage? First of all, this is what I find difficult, Mark. If your car's not paid off, how do you get the title without paying it off? And then if you do pay it off, the person doesn't just want to give you that money and wait for the title. So people don't know how to do that.
Blinker.
And what if there's a deficit? People don't know how to do that. So what Blinker does, and man, I don't mean to make this a commercial for them, but it's a free service. What the hell? Why wouldn't anyone do it? And people might be thinking, okay, why is it free? Because they want to finance cars, and they hope you use them to finance. But if not, you still get to use the app. The paperwork comes when you're supposed to do it. All you have to do is meet someone publicly for a test drive. After that, you don't even have to talk to them. If they say, hey, I'll give you this, I'll give you that, no, forget it. Go on the app and make your offer.
And you close it right then during the test drive. You pretty much already negotiated it, long as it's everything you said. When you go for that test drive, that's when I sold mine. But even if you want to advertise it on Craigslist or in the newspaper,
yes, send them to Blinker.
Send them to Blinker. They'll do all the paperwork for free.
So, Mark, have you heard of Blinker?
I have. Actually, I was going to tell you, we bought a car on Blinker, and it worked good. I'm selling a car that's fairly old. It's a 2004 350Z. I have the title.
See, I don't think they let you sell. They won't let you sell old cars, will they, Mark?
What is it, Dan? Is it 04 is good or no?
No, that should work, yeah.
What's the cutoff?
15 years? He's right around there, but it could be okay.
Yeah. But let's say... go ahead.
Yeah.
If there's a bad Carfax on it, you can't sell it on Blinker. I know that.
Yeah,
or any severe damage, anything like that.
All right, so keep going, Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
No, there's in my neighborhood, there's someone who wants to buy it, and so like I said, it's not someone I don't trust, but still, I want to just be safe. So I didn't know if I took a cashier's check from their bank, went to my bank, deposited it.
Now here's what you can do, okay? This is what you can do. You don't take the cashier's check to your bank. What you do is you go with them to their bank, okay?
Okay.
And they will make a withdrawal and have a check, a bank check made out to you.
Okay.
Okay, so it goes from their account into the bank. The bank issues a bank check to you. You take that check to your bank and deposit it. Yes, you can do that.
Perfect.
But
Okay.
you don't take stuff to your bank because that can be clawed back. But if you're at their bank and you cash it at their bank, now you take that cash and convert it to a bank check. What a bank check is, as opposed to a cashier's check. A bank check, well, a cashier's check can be similar depending on how banks do it. But most of the time, cashier's checks are drawn from an account, whereas a bank check is drawn from the bank. The bank has an account that money goes in and money goes out. So that's the best way to do it. It's somebody you know and trust. Make sure you do a bill of sale, as is, please, even though it's understood. Usually, you have to do that. I'm Tom Martino. We have a lot more to talk about. Don't forget, you can get right through at 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255.
Is that motorcycles still? At Blinker? Is that motorcycles as well?
I don't think they do motorcycles yet.
Mark,
Maybe you do motorcycles.
1 minute?
No.
24/7.
No RVs, no motorcycles, no boats. Maybe eventually.
I have a motorcycle for sale.
What do you have?
A 2008 Raider S, the Yamaha Raider.
Oh, I don't know. That's a project.
No, it's like a Harley Davidson.
How about Japanese? It's called a Raider. It's like a Japanese Harley.
Yeah, which, by the way, other than everyone wants a Harley, the Japanese bikes are actually better.
I had a Polaris made a
I
motorcycle.
love that Honda Shadow. It's so cool looking. I love that little bike.
20 seconds, fix it 24/7 30 spot.
I had a big giant road king. Oh my God, I was so afraid.
With traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 630 K House.
Good bike. Rocket Mortgage by
What year?
Quicken Loans is with you every
Brand new,
step of the way to
well, not
provide
brand new,
a seamless mortgage
21,
experience. Visit
700.
rocketmortgage.com. License.
Fix it 24/7. We are getting weather. We always get weather one way or the other, whether hot or cold. That's why I'm urging you to get your furnace or AC checked or both. Here's the way it works. That $39 deal to clean and adjust and refurbish your furnace or air, each $39, is a great deal in and of itself. But here's the deal. They're doing both systems for just $49 today, but you have to say Martino said it. $49 today, both systems. You'll never get a better deal than this. The next 10 callers at 720-526-30. No, it's 3939. 720-526-3939. I'm missing a beat today. If I get a sinus infection, it never goes away. So basically, I always have a sinus infection. And that I had surgery was supposed to take care of it. Never worked.
Say it again, bro.
Sinus infection all the time. I had that deviated septum.
You should use that thing I got, man. It works really good.
But that's what I did.
This one looks like a water pick, and it's got a certain adapter.
And it will automatically use the right pressure.
There's only one pressure. Well, that's not true. You can set the pressure button.
I think because I have pockets, I think what caused
This blinker complaint, I emailed Andrew Price on
Fine, I don't give a shit.
I haven't got a call back.
But,
It's
okay,
not
I'll talk
really a
about it.
blinker complaint,
It is.
but they should help.
Because you're not just
They
doing
will.
yard work.
Other than that, how much?
For the whole neighborhood to enjoy.
Huh?
Things like a deer.
But you said there's 41,000.
No, 20.
That's 300 from
21,700.
That's cute.
Took it to Sturgis, took it to Santa Fe. Even a lot of places.
You know, now, technically, all of these bikes are better than Harleys. They really are. Although Harleys are really better than they used to be.
Way better. No comparison.
They went through such a dog. AMF was.
Oh my God, yeah.
They're terrible. But before that, even the original disease.
If you had a Harley, you had an oil spot on your driveway.
Well, and you had to be a mechanic.
Luxurious nuclear kitchen in just a week or two.
I want that to
develop. Really?
Yeah.
Our favorite
That's
business
mine.
is
I play a lot of ball.
Bam. Is it you know what I'm going to do? And I don't know if it's regulation or not. Seriously, I don't know. But I'm going to use 2 rackets.
Cool tools. You can do that. There's nothing I sure.
I wonder if you can do 2 balls.
Are you bouncing though? You do got bouncing.
Yeah, they become a chiropractor. They spend their careers trying to not be a chiropractor. They give away. No, I'm asking. This guy's local chiropractor, the black guy that Don showed.
We should try.
It looks like 81. I mean,
I know. I'm saying 81.
why else would he do that?
Yeah, DIY.
DIY cool tools.
Yeah. Chris Brown.
Wait, I met Chris. No, he's not local.
We should try not to.
I think it's just on the local channel, right?
He owns the range up there in West.
Oh, pickleball.
Well, when is the show on? Yeah, I know.
You have to play double?
Yeah. But when is the show?
It's over. So he does.
No, a lot of people do it, and I'm sure it's because they don't have to run.
What's the ball like? Is it like a
ping pong ball? I think it's rubber, not rubber.
Wiffle be your.
Like a wiffle, I don't think it's wiffle.
I didn't want to be that close.
A soft,
I don't like to be Tom.
Yeah, but like one of those. Maybe not a wiffle.
Right.
Just
That's what it sounds like.
It just works. You spray it on
Spray it
oil.
on.
People love it. Just don't get them
You take the threads and you go.
Does it pull it out?
If you're doing something for exercise.
Well, are you a chemist? How did you come up with it?
I was at a customer's house and I messed up and poured oil on it, spraying the concrete.
They say it's not going to snow.
We re-engineered it.
Is it something that was already out there?
I'll give you stuff.
Let me tell you something.
I talked to the golf course, he says, no, we're not going to pull the guys out and stuff. If it snows, then we'll send them
And he
home.
noticed.
Did he ask you there?
Yeah,
They were throwing powder on the speed. They were throwing powder on the stuff.
Dry?
Yeah, they
you
wanted
drive,
to
it doesn't snow,
and
because
it
it
was
snows,
hydrogen
it'll send
peroxide.
it.
That's all it was. It was straight hydrogen peroxide.
let's do it.
And he thought,
I wonder how we'll find them on
he
the
looked it up online, he looked all over, there was nothing patented, nothing ever. It was just out there. He packaged it, called it
The only time you can really do that
and
is
made
at their
$1
residence,
billion.
and you know it's
Okay, Max Apple, I know him really well. He had Orange Glow before that.
Because you're not
Stuff
suing
like
a
that.
company.
He started all of this in Colorado.
If there was a
Then
company, you
Roxy
could serve lots of
and all the others.
inside the company.
And I brought an Amazon box.
The story is that it was something being used for
The Amazon box.
years that no one ever thought of packaging
got a box,
and
got
using
some-
and brand naming it, and now it's his. Of course, everyone else, Dwight and Church bought it from him, and then everyone else starts using Oxy, and all it is hydrogen peroxide. So is this similar in that you found something that people were using and they never marketed
an
it,
application patent for it.
and they never marketed it?
No. Yes,
So do you have the patent?
we're working on it right now.
Is it? Do you have it filed, the provisional?
Yeah, it's in there.
So no one can beat you there?
No.
Okay, good. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So, Bill McGovern, First Call Heating and Air, also has a product he invented I'd love talking about. It's a spray. We'll get to him in a minute. I love inventions. I love all of you who invent. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll give you free publicity. Call me with your invention, but it has to be protected. The way you protect it, a couple ways, but the easiest way is get in line at the patent office. It's called a provisional patent. But let me explain this. What a provisional patent says is this. Yes, Tom, you're in line on this date and on this time. If there's no one in front of you, you get the patent. If there's no one already patented, you get the patent. But anyone else who comes after you or hears about it will not beat you. So it's a place in line, but only if you're not the first. So the only thing you have to lose is if you patented something, or excuse me, if you have a provisional patent and you're in line and you get to the front of the line where you have to convert it and you find out that 10 years ago somebody already patented it, no loss. No harm, no foul. You walk away. You lose your application fee. That's it. So obviously it would be better to do a patent search first, but you don't have to. If there is another invention exactly like it and you have a provisional patent, it does do no harm. It can only do you good. So get in line right away. You don't have to do anything. Get in line if you have the money and get a provisional patent. But then don't complain if somebody's already patented it. But what's good about it is if you want to talk to people about it, now you can. And no one can take it from you. So anyway, that's on, we'll get to that in a minute, that invention he has. But Craig, we were talking about Blinker, and you have a problem with Blinker, or what? Tell us what's going on.
Can you hear me okay, Tom?
I can hear you fine, sir.
Yeah, I've heard you guys talk about Blinker the past couple of days.
Love them. We love them.
Yeah, I have no problem with the transaction. Everything went smooth at that point. I've been making payments until recently. My payment's not due this month until the 15th, which is every 15th.
Can let me get this straight then, Craig. You were a buyer on Blinker?
Yes.
And when you were a buyer, you used Blinker to get your car loan?
Correct.
Okay, go ahead now.
And I was going to make a payment as usual. I've had it maybe about 4 months now, and I was going to make a payment yesterday, even though it was early, not yesterday, but prior to the 4th. And they told me that they couldn't. They told me that the loan was sold to another lender.
Yeah, that happens.
And I haven't had a chance. I haven't gotten in contact with them or anything. They haven't given me any information. I haven't heard from anybody.
All right, Craig, I want to go over a couple things for people listening. First and foremost, any loan can be sold at any time for any reason. Let's put that out there so people don't think when a loan is sold there's something wrong. When it is sold, it is a problem if the new lender does not properly follow up or the old lender does not properly follow up, because things like this happen and people get confused. They don't know what to do. We've had some cases, not with Blinker, but we've had some cases where a loan was sold and the poor guy tries to make his payment, can't. They mark him late, and all of a sudden he's got problems, never had problems before. So, Craig, Blinker should be able to help you with this because they own the loan and they sold it. What happened?
I've contacted them, and they said that I need to contact the new lender and they gave me the phone number. And when you call this phone number, they just give you a recording. And I looked them up on reviews. It sounds like a sleazebag lender.
Well, what is a sleazebag lender?
Somebody that you have poor customer service with, and someone that.
Okay, I see what you're saying. In other words, not sleaze as in a scam, but you're saying they just don't take care of people.
Yeah, they call flagship credit acceptance.
Okay, so here's what you can do. You can always not make your payment, and you'll hear from them in a hurry. But then they will ding your credit, maybe, but then you have to fight that. Or we can try to help you. Since Blinker's on the referral list, we'd be glad to help you.
Okay.
All right, so, but I'd like to know why this happened, and it sounds like the new lender didn't follow up, and you would think they'd want to follow up, wouldn't they?
Well, I'm just trying to get out of it. I'm going to refinance my car to someone else. I just need a.
But why? What's the rate?
Contact.
What's the rate you have?
Right now, I don't have the paperwork or anything. I just want to get. I don't want anything to do with this company.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case, fine. But I wouldn't go through all that trouble for nothing. We got more coming up.
Who doesn't want to own their home faster? But can it be done without paying more money?
So what did this turn out to be?
Why is it when you borrow $400,000 for a home loan?
They're working on it. I want to make sure I'm totally set to go. They're working on it. The paperwork's in. I'm ahead of the game. I have the timestamp you're talking about. I'm not, everything that's in it is right on. Miller Stevenson built it for me. They're the chief, the chemical engineers. They showed me what I had.
Where did you find it? Did you find it somewhere?
I found it in something I used for other things. I was running for anything.
And this is not being used anywhere else.
Access your equity when needed.
And it really works well. I wonder why other people.
It will be done by US.
I wonder why other people haven't used it.
Oh, I'm selling it.
No, I'm talking about why other people haven't used this product if it was readily available.
OilsBeGone.us. And you'll see Chris Grundy and you'll see exactly how it was.
You understand, you've made a public disclosure already about this in itself. So you have 1 year to get your full patent. We want your protected during the provisional process. But did you do a patent search?
Something that works well. Yeah, he did all that. My cousin, Ramon Pizarro, did all that.
Who is it?
Ramon Pizarro. My patent attorney.
Ideal Home Loans.
How'd you find him?
Oh, I have a patent from 2001 on a torch. Flexible torch with adjustable length. That's mine.
Call 844-45 Ideal.
Where'd you market that one?
I tried to sell it to Turbo Torch. They didn't like me. No, I lost it because it's after 17 years. The only people are 17. We're 19. So I lost that. But
did anyone pick up on it?
Nope. So I redid new companies because I had to compete. Yeah, one of them's a video here. Move down a little further. Here. Is any one of these?
Oh, any one of these is?
Yeah. There you go. That's Chris Grundy.
Attorney General William Barr got the full attention of the Senate committee when
We got to do Centeno. I just listened to the live that's going to play.
The United States uses the word spying. It's rather provocative.
Hawaii Democrat Brian Schatz wanted to know, did Barr really mean spying?
I'm getting it.
You want to do a live stem cell at 11:03?
Yeah, fine.
And push the 24th.
Okay, that's the one I can't do that.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind doing it. They just emailed me saying, hey, we've only had, a handful. But I just listened to it. It doesn't push the 24th.
Well,
so push the 24th sign up.
Am I doing Centeno right now? Oh, did you?
Did you do anything?
Only if you want to. I got to record it live.
No, he wants me to do it live.
Yeah, so we'll do it at 11:03:20.
Gotcha.
That's what I love about
Yeah, they told me because of the injury I had, they said,
listen to that. He went to one of the things.
I need to know Centeno really quickly. Okay, the 24th?
Yeah, coming right up, the 24th.
Okay, what were you saying about that?
He went to one of the seminars. Okay?
Yeah.
And they told him he wasn't a candidate. I love that.
The doctor that ran the seminar said, listen, with the damage you've got, this isn't going to help you. Don't spend the money.
I love it.
Go to your surgeon.
There's chiropractors you would have went to. They would have told you, shit. It'll fix it.
Dr. Dean
It'll help you lose weight. It'll fix it. Your blood work will come back better.
It's April 24th.
You'll have sex like you did when you were 18. Just get it shot.
Where is it?
Hold on. Tech Center. Call for details. Tech Center. Or however you have them sign up. Centennial area.
Got it.
Fox Nation is the PatriotSoftware.com. Accounting and payroll. Keep your time and money. Mike Campbell here, serial entrepreneur.
Yeah, for some reason they're not working. This video's not working.
Thinks about us.
Says Laura.
That's the other thing. Questionable sales business. I'm on the board of Tried and True.
We can focus on delivering
This is a local.
exceptional customer service to our own clients.
Do a lot of stuff.
Payroll is affordable, easy to use, and it keeps us organized. We're receptive.
Can it be used on fabric?
We strive to demonstrate that.
Hasn't been tested yet. I don't even say that.
We will be using their
Works on concrete, not asphalt.
Thank you,
It's right on the can.
Software, 5 stars.
Yeah, so April, I mean, really push it more than anything. In fact, maybe bring
I don't understand. You don't want to talk about it, you said.
No, I don't. I did. I brought it in because I want you guys to talk about it with your other guys on Friday. I brought it in so you can use it on your own driveway, and then I'll come back in and talk to you.
You said that you're afraid of the
I just want to make sure it's good.
You're coming up. You're coming up.
20 seconds and 10 out. Developing today and continuing.
Maybe bring Jim into it. No, you don't have time. It's 11 o'clock hour.
Lightens up, will have a high of 43. Friday, partly sunny with a high of 46.
Watch the newest, boldest network on TV, the Scientology Network on DirecTV Channel 320. Or go to Scientology.tv. You don't need to be a Scientologist. You just need to be curious.
This is 30 or 60. Let's talk about genuine stem cell therapy, living stem cell therapy. A lot of people want to know more. They want to find out about it because I'm always telling them to do the real living stem cell therapy and not what these chiropractors are pushing with amniotic fluid and umbilical cord blood. Centeno Schultz originated stem cell therapy in a clinical setting. They invented it. And they are giving a seminar in the Denver Tech Center area, April 24th. Now, it's free of charge and there's no obligation. You can find out anything you need to know about stem cells. All you have to do is register. Now, it's going to be in the Tech Center, April 24th, 303-963-9201, 303-963-9201. Of course, you can always go directly for a medical evaluation or just go to that clinic and that seminar. Here it is, thestemcellexperts.com.
Insurance, no, it's all focusing on the road right now. So we're just fine.
The Scientology Network. Check it out, man.
It's a tiny square that's covered.
So here's the programs they have right now. L. Ron Hubbard in his own voice, Inside Scientology, Destination Scientology, Meet a Scientologist, Voices for Humanity, L. Ron Hubbard Library presents, and I Am a Scientologist. That's their lineup for the day. There's a theme there, I think.
My name's Ken, and I own Good Start Package.
Reel you in.
I can't believe how much you're dropping on advertising this thing.
All right, guys, I'll be back. I'm going to go give them a check.
Who?
Scientology. I don't want to miss that. And I'll be right back.
Cool.
They only want cash, though.
They might take you in right away.
Oh, yeah, I better take cash. Okay. let me go to the bank and withdraw that right now.
Imagine what it could do for yours.
God, look at that building. Oh, my God. It looks like a palace, man.
Is there anything about religion in there?
That is one of the most charismatic gues I've ever
Is
heard.
that L. Ron Hubbard?
No, he's dead, man. Or not dead. He's up in he's on the moon.
Who's this guy?
He is the face. He is the grand poobah, as they say. He the man.
That's my buddy's house. The 15,000 square foot.
Nice, huh?
Works just like that.
Look at that place they're in. That was built by blood and sweat and tears.
Money built by
Made a
money.
bunch of commercials.
How they suck it out.
In your opinion.
You at oil behind that US.
Tom Martino, Troubleshooter.
The commercial.
If you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. 303-713-TALK is our number. We fight for consumers' rights. We expose liars, cheats, and rip-offs, recovering millions of dollars every year in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. We also, of course, help point you to the good guys at referralist.com. All you have to do is give us a call if you have a problem, a question, or a complaint at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. You know, we have what I call a profile of a victim and a profile of a perpetrator. And you would think that that's ridiculous, but it's true. I think that people who are victims are victimized more than once and victimized in more than one situation. Different categories. So, you know, it's not just somebody got screwed on a car deal, but if you delve deeper, you will find people get screwed in other things. And there are some people that are destined to be victims. It's weird. It's a victim mentality. And I'm not even saying it's something they're doing consciously or something they can change. I'm also not saying that we don't like them. Of course, you can call us, 303-713-TALK. Have you been victimized more than once? Do you wonder why? There are things that I can tell you that no other consultant in the world can tell you. First of all, consultants, you know the joke. Consultants can tell you 100 ways to make love, and they don't have a girlfriend. They are all talk, most of them, but they don't know what they're doing most of the time. No one has talked to more consumers ever than me. That's it. I'm the best research project in the world. Thousands of consumers. If you think about this, every single day for my entire career, every single day, email, phone calls, snail mail, and in person, we talk, we talk, we talk, and we find out what the problem is. And then we solve problems. So we have learned what makes a victim, and we've learned who to watch out for. And I'll give you some of those signs. We have special guests today we'll introduce as well. Right now, Bennett wants to know about an appraisal on a motor vehicle. Bennett. And we have lines open at 303-713-TALK. Bennett, go ahead.
Yeah, Tom, I talked to you a couple of weeks ago about my wife's Volkswagen that's 10 years old. It's got 34,000 miles on it. It's like brand new, and I'd like to know where I can get a fair appraisal on it.
It's going to be difficult, you know. And so what year is it actually?
It's actually a 2009.
2009, and it has
Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah, and it's like new. That's wonderful. I'm not sure you're going to get what it's worth. Some people love those cars, and the actual mileage right now?
It's 34,000.
Okay. Well, I would start with a dealer. I know that sounds crazy, but if you're not looking to trade it in, there's no reason for them to be dishonest with you. What are you looking to do? To sell it?
No, not really. I did call Compass Insurance, and they said for $15 more a year, they would give me 25% more of the value.
It's a stated value, it's called. You put, yeah, that's for people who have exceptional cars.
Right. So I did pay him the extra 15, but you know, I'm just worried if she gets hit or the car gets totaled, we're going to get screwed.
Well, you know, people in your situation do with those kinds of cars. And you have to do a stated value, or you just pray that you don't get totaled. But you want to keep this car, is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, my wife loves the car.
Yeah, I would do a stated value with, and Compass, of course, is wonderful. I think they do the best because they shop so many different companies.
Right, which they did do for me and got my...
What did you find? Okay, the stated value was what?
Well, they told me it would be around 11.
11,000.
Which I think is high. I don't know.
No, I think that's a good idea. Well, why not? If you're going to pay for it, why not? Then you're sure to replace it. Not necessarily replace it exactly.
Right. Because they don't make that model anymore.
Yeah, why don't they make the Beetle anymore? That's crazy.
Well, they made a newer version. It's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't neither, and she does not because I tried.
And I don't like the and the Fiat copied it.
Right.
Did you see that little Fiat? Do they still make those little round Fiats? You hardly ever see those Fiats in Denver. Hardly ever. I see them all over the country when I travel, but for some reason you don't see them here. Bennett, I would do a stated value, but listen, be careful on stated values too. And stated value doesn't always work. There are stated values that will pay a flat amount no matter what. And then there are stated values that you can state the value for the purposes of premium, but you still have to prove it at the time of loss. And that's something that really sucks. For example, with UPS, you can do a stated value. They don't care what you say it's worth. You're not going to get that amount of money unless you can prove what was in there was worth what you put down. So it's silly to exaggerate. Some people think if they exaggerate, they're going to, make money on it. 713-TALK. So what is a professional victim? You guys listen to the show a lot, right? You know, so you wonder, why do people feel victimized, or why are they victimized? I'm going to tell you one common trait that almost every victim has. Now, there are some that don't, but this is prevalent amongst many of them.
What baffles me is when someone gets kicked in the face by somebody, then they let that same person do it again. We see that with contractors constantly.
Because they're trying to get level. They're trying to get even. They're trying to get back what they lost, and they think that that person should make up for it. But, okay, I hope you take this right. I don't care if you do or not, because I'm not saying this with hate or malice. But people with disabilities almost expect to be ripped off, and it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, I'm not talking about a disability that is necessarily paralysis or being in a wheelchair or an obvious disability. I'm talking about all kinds of disabilities, from mental impairment to physical disabilities to autism to any form in between. Old age as a disability. I'm elderly. You know, they define themselves with a disability. And I have found this is incredible. Now, why would that... I'm not saying that people look for people with disabilities to rip off, but I'm saying that when you are in that mentality of being disabled, that you put yourself in a position that almost attracts these con artists.
I know I'm going to piss some people off, but you know one of the biggest ones, we get into the help center, 303 Martino.
What?
I'm a single mother.
Yeah, single mom.
They literally start out with, I'm a single mother.
And you know what? I guess I should say disabilities and special classifications. That's what I should say. Because people who look at themselves as a special classification, and a single mom is one of those special classifications that people feel, I'm going to be ripped off, or they expect to be ripped off. And what's funny is those who expect to be ripped off, instead of being on the lookout and more wary, they are just the opposite, and they get ripped off. So disabilities and special cases or special classes would be one thing. There is another thing that is truly, I mean, it is like it's so common. I'm surprised that people don't know it. And it's the art of communication. People who do not communicate. Now, when I say do not communicate, you got to listen. I'm not talking about people who do not talk. I'm talking about people who do not communicate. You may hear people call this show, and they want to explain stuff to me from the beginning of time. And when I say to them, and what about this? It's as if I didn't say anything, and they go right back to what they were explaining. And I say, what was the end result? It was raining that day in September, 1989. And I said, but what was the end result? You're calling today. What happened? He drove up in a really rotten car, And it's like, so they're not communicating. So they're not listening, and they're not communicating, and they're not asserting themselves either. Communication difficulties. Unbelievable how many people call this show and they don't know how to communicate, and they're especially not listening because they're assuming things are going to be done a certain way, and they tell me, well, I assumed, or here's another thing you hear people say, I made it clear. I made it clear this was going to be used for my son to go back and forth to work. What difference does that make? I made it clear. They feel like they have certain hooks that they do that people should respect. I made it clear. So disabilities and specific classes of people who put themselves in a class. You'll even have people, they used to say playing the race card. We have people that play the race card. It could be, any race card. And then you have people who put themselves in a classification, like Mark said, of single mom. So disabilities and specific classes, and a lack of communication, which doesn't mean a lack of talking. Do you remember the one woman we had call in, and I told her to shut up, and she wouldn't shut up? I honest to goodness, forget what she was calling about. Suzanne, what was she calling about?
I don't know, Tom,
Her
but she
apartment.
called me this morning during the show and said she's getting her wits about her to call you back.
Okay, and I wanted to talk to her. And then I was saying, I mean, truly, she was ridiculous to a point where I said, you're living better than 98% of the people on the planet, but let's get to your problem. And she wouldn't get to the problem. There was one, I couldn't get her to spell out anything. She was too emotional.
She wanted a nicer apartment for the $80 a month she spent. That's where she was
she
going.
was in a subsidized housing, but there was some reason she...
Yeah, because the one next door had a swimming pool or something stupid.
But I did not even disagree with her because I couldn't get her to listen to how to go about doing this. And then I got to a point where she just flipped my switch and I start saying, shut up, shut up. And then you could hear in the background she's going, oh, oh, and it sounded like a comedy almost.
Like a whale.
But anyway, I will never be mean to people on purpose or
Hey, wait a minute.
Nowhere.
How about that attorney? You said he looked like dead skin.
Mark.
No, you just said you're never mean to people.
I said he looked like a cadaver, not dead skin.
Okay.
A waste of skin.
This guy, that's what I said, a waste of skin.
You said his breath was horrible.
And a cadaver. And that was the Bulldog Moore, right? What's this, Brian Bulldog Moore? What a terrible, 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 terrible attorney. So anyway, people, we have more on victims, but then the people to avoid, that's going to be interesting. The people to avoid, and how can you tell that they spell trouble? All right, 303-713-TALK. More coming up. Just have some great time.
When you say disabled veteran, I think people say that because they think you'll do more to help.
Yeah, I know. Disabled vet and single mother.
Plus, single moms. My mom has 8 kids. So single moms, they get special price, a little over consideration.
We have one on our, we have an automotive shop on our referral list that only does charity for single mothers. Like fix their car for them.
Wow.
But it's always, what we're talking about is we'll have a message that goes like this. I'm a single mother and I'm getting ready to get kicked out of our apartment and I need $500. We actually had one that covered everything. I'm a disabled vet, a single mother.
They had their whole list.
They had the whole bit. We're like, holy shit, how are you even alive?
Or they do that because they think you're going to, oh wow, we got to drop everything.
Or we're not going to background check them. Because a lot of times we start the background check and then they forget about it.
Oh, not roofing. Are you sure? It's something. Let's talk about the best company that I know. And I'm saying the best run company I know, Excel Roofing. Now, why do I say that? Now, you can apply these principles to any business, but Jay Bretz believes that the customer comes first and you never have to force a customer to stay with you. When it comes to roofing, you have all these high-pressure sales, these people that want insurance checks up front, these people that have penalty clauses, none of that with Excel Roofing. Excel Roofing says, sign up with us, we'll do the very best job. We give you a complete estimate. We don't even have to see what your insurance does, but we will help you with your insurance if you want us to. Also, if you want to get out of the contract, there are no penalties. We're not going to force you. And you don't have to pay a cent until you're content. People say, I couldn't run a business like that. I'd be out of business. And then I say, well, maybe you should be out of business. Now, I'm not saying it's a requirement not to take money, but Jay Brett says, with Excel Roofing, I'll do the best job, and I won't ever ask for anything up front. That's excelroofing.com, 303-761-6400, 303-761-6400. So, anyway, what's the name of that company that did that?
It's on your list.
Well, you have to tell me. Okay, I need to know about that. I need to know who the tech was and the date and everything.
You go in there.
Now, how do you know it wasn't before then?
He came in, it was working fine. The little old lady said to me,
so he was the first one on the
spot check. He was running.
They have the name of the tech.
No, I have the paperwork. I can send it over to you.
I want to see the paperwork.
That little old lady asked me, did he lie to me and say that he would get it for 45 days? Yes.
What were they proposing you do? They
sell her a $10,000 furnace because she wouldn't have heat for 45 days.
Why 45 days?
He got on the phone with somebody and said to the lady, I can't get you this. I went down and picked it. That board. Can't get you heat today.
Now, did you get this board replaced?
Yes.
How much?
$675 done.
And it was,
I got it within an hour. She looked at me and said, "Did he lie to me?" And she's an elder, dude. They walked in there and tried to track. That is a straight burn job. Look, I don't start fights, but I don't like walking. I don't like to be compared with these guys at all. They're horrible. That's nasty. And they wanted to sell her a $23,000 furnace and AC, and she had just gotten AC from me 1 year earlier. Ooh.
Why did she call me?
Because she got scared, and I had.
Why did she call you?
Because they offered her zero money to come and look at your furnace. That's what started it all. So she figured, let them come in, take a look. Then she immediately called me next. She doesn't want to be involved in this because she's very rich and very personal, you know, but she's like, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. First thing I've ever said, I wanted to give this a Tony Kowalski.
They said there's no way, compared to the other big ones I got, she doesn't want to get involved.
No, don't keep hitting it because I want to use it.
No, what I'm saying
Well, I don't work.
Well, you can ask her if she wants
No, I know that, but there's.
If he wants to
have a fist fight, what happened?
But when was it?
Honestly, as long as he does
Month and a half.
what he says he's going to
Very,
do,
very cold day.
and he just does it. I
Just
can't
nasty.
dictate
I can get you a
Never,
paper.
if someone told me what to sell a fucking tire for, when I had 5 tire stores, I tell them to fuck off. I know what I need to sell it for to stay in business.
They had heard about this many times.
Tell someone to go there.
Okay, can I talk to the person?
Yeah, I'll get your number.
No, that's what
I want to take a picture of that?
That's what I want to do.
I'm sorry, man, I don't mean to bring this to you right now, but I followed it. And I wanted that lady to hold for me.
People say, sorry about bringing trouble to me.
That's a kind of
Like an indoor concrete house.
No one in the world condones shit like this. And they're-
303-386-5919. The bathroom's free when you have the kitchen done at the same time.
I know a victim.
If that burned like that, it would have killed that guy.
Guess who?
No, I
Nearly
understand.
the
Well,
exact
first of all,
opposite.
if you want to know the truth,
I
computer boards don't generate enough heat anyway to melt.
What do you mean?
They
Well,
don't
you
do
bring
their
out a baby
homework.
torch and make it
I
happen
know.
on it.
But there's truly no way
Yeah, they
that
just want
you
somebody
can-
to handle it. They don't want to be involved. They don't want to play any effort. Yeah.
Think about the stupidity.
Well, that is the reason we
Yeah,
got below for the
We're up.
reducer motor, which is 125.
No, I understand that, but that board doesn't carry that much.
No.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Give us a call if you have a problem, question, or complaint, because we want to help you. We can get directly involved or just give you advice. And the victim thing. I told you victims have this disabilities or special class they put themselves in. We talked about single mom. We hear about that all the time. We hear about senior citizen, as if for some reason you go stupid when you get over a certain age. And then the other one is you hear people say, I'm a veteran. Now, listen, I don't want to tell you I'm dissing these people. There's no, senior citizens, wonderful. Veterans, thank you for your service. Single moms, more power to you. Unless, you're having litters of kids with different dads, and we get a lot of that. And it's easy not to do that. So we have single moms, senior citizens, we have veterans. What other people put themselves in special classes? We have the disabilities in general. We have, what can you...
Lazy.
Well, they don't call themselves lazy.
No, I know, but they
well,
don't
no,
do the homework.
I'm not talking. No, so we're talking about when people identify themselves. They will put themselves in a special class, and they will do sometimes, as I say, the race card.
The sick card. They're sick.
Yeah, sick of some, which is some kind of disability again. Then we have the communication or lack of communication. They either talk too much, or they don't talk enough, or they don't know how to specify problems or concerns. People take advantage of them. So there are other things victims do, and that is lack of research and education. They don't know what they're getting involved in. Do you hear the guy that called about his car? How do you transfer money? He's doing research. That's a smart thing. Some people say, well, it was a cashier's check, and all you have to do is a little searching, and you're going to find that there are a lot of cashier check scams. So you would know that if you simply did some searching. The other one is with education and research, what I call the thread of truth. If people simply ask enough questions to anyone, if you start out knowing nothing, and you ask enough questions or listen to enough sales pitches, you will find out truth. It cannot be held back. People will mention things. Sometimes it's in passing, sometimes it's a main topic, and one guy will mention it, and then you'll move on, and somebody else will mention it. Let me give you an example. Let's say we're talking about an attic fan, and somebody says, you don't want a lot of heat building up in your attic because it can deteriorate the shingles faster and the wood. So you want to dissipate that heat as much as possible. So now you know that, and let's say everyone mentions that. Somebody says, you don't need an attic fan. You can do it by just proper ridge venting, and you can have, as long as you have enough vents. And somebody else says, oh, you need an attic fan, and we can install that for this much. And then somebody else says, well, I recommend an attic fan, but even with an attic fan, you may need a bigger vent, because what good is a fan if you don't have enough air coming in? So now you start drawing pictures. Enough people are going to tell you, and you get the sense, wait a minute, no matter what I do with the air, I have to have fresh air coming in somewhere. So now you realize, okay, I'm going to need more soffit venting or more venting to bring fresh air in. So now you've concluded that. So now what do I need? To expel the air, do I need a fan or do I need a ridge vent? You start asking. Now listen, I know, now you start, and when you talk to them, you build on your knowledge so you don't sound like a dumbass. You say, I realize that to get circulation in my attic, and by the way, if you're rolling your eyes right now, then you deserve to be ripped off, because people should have tools in their tool chest not to be morons. And unfortunately, there are a lot of morons, because this is a very simple topic. So if you have an attic that's overheating your house, you're going to pay too much in energy. Do you care about that? Well, you will. Your roof's going to age prematurely. Do you care about that? You should. It's going to be a bad thing. So anyway, you've concluded you need vents in your soffits. That's the low part of your roof, what people call the eaves or the overhang. So now you say to the next guy, or you call back the original guy, you say, look, I've concluded, I need more air, fresh air coming in, but what would you recommend I do for that? Can I just use the ridge vent on the top? Because people have mentioned that, and go with natural currents, or should I use a fan? Okay, and now you start zeroing in, and then enough people will tell you what you need. If you say, well, your attic is small enough, I wouldn't need a fan. You don't need a fan. The pitch isn't high enough, and it's not going to accumulate enough hot air, or whatever. What I'm saying is, if you talk to people, you will learn the truth. If you talk about car insurance, you're going to hear enough people saying, I had a really big problem. You need med pay. Med pay is something that'll pay your medical bills up to $25,000, or you can get it for more, or no matter who's at fault. So no matter what, while you're waiting for everything to be settled, med pay pays medical bills. And here's the other thing about MedPay and car insurance. You never have to reimburse MedPay, ever. So if you get a settlement, you don't have a company coming back to you looking for reimbursement. Now, the way you find out about MedPay is enough people tell you, I had MedPay, it helped me here, or when you're going to get an insurance quote, then all of a sudden you have a guy say, you know what, you don't really need MedPay, or they don't mention it, because in Colorado you have to specifically decline it. And then all of a sudden you think to yourself, wait a minute, everyone else mentioned this guy wants me to decline it, he must not be good. So the truth comes out no matter what you do.
And it's dirt cheap, man. When you're talking about MedPay, it's crazy to waive it.
Let's talk about concrete replacement. That's expensive. So we have crackerjack mudjacking. And I know crackerjack mudjacking doesn't call just you first. They find out what it's going to cost to jackhammer and replace, right?
Absolutely.
Then they find out, wait, some guy told me they can pump plastic underneath this foundation, and won't that work? I mean, foam really works. I can see it. They gave me a little demo on how this foam can lift a car. They look at a video. Okay, so what's wrong with foam? They start asking questions. Then they get another guy saying, well, we can use mud. What do you do when you give a spiel? What do you do to tell them about it?
Well, I try not to talk about my competitors' products, but I will tell you.
But if they ask, if they say, well, I've heard about this foam stuff, how do you compare it to that? Do you have something ready to tell them?
Absolutely.
What?
I have a copy of their manufacturer safety data sheet that clearly spells out the ails of using foam. I also have the textbook from the Colorado School of Mines that was written that shows why you shouldn't use foam. And we also have the data that shows the material that we use, tried and true, been used for 50 years.
Yeah.
It is recommended by every engineer in America.
50 years, isn't it mud? I mean, literally mud.
It's concrete.
It's been around for 1,000,000 years, hasn't it?
Exactly.
But it has concrete in it.
It's a slurry that has Portland cement.
It has some cement in it.
Set and,
Got it.
And also an aggregate so that you get the compaction you need.
You know Howard Denton?
I know Howard Denton.
My
very
God,
well.
if you ever mention foam around Howard Denton.
Yeah. Anyway, he has a concrete pumping company. Here's the point, people. So the thread of truth, education and research, they lack it. That's what I'm getting at. They lack communication, and they put themselves in a specific class. This is most of the time.
Thanks for giving me a chance to mention that.
What is this tried and true veteran stuff you do? I don't get
Well,
it.
he's funny. He said tried and true. It's trident true.
Trident?
Not tried and true like he said. So what it is I'm on the board. And we...
Hey, brother.
That's my mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
How are you? I'm looking for a resemblance. Yes, I see a resemblance.
My goodness, you look more like a sister.
Are you from Colorado?
No, I'm from Bethesda.
Navy doctor.
Are you really? People from there.
Both his parents.
What do I know about? Is that where the naval hospital is or something?
President
That's a
goes
famous
there.
hospital.
President goes there.
I used to run it.
What's that?
I used to run it.
The hospital?
Yeah.
She's a doctor.
She's an admiral.
Holy.
Yeah, no cool.
What am I doing now? I got frustrated.
Quicken Loans is with you every
I just met a freaking admiral. 30. If you're in a car accident and you have injuries, or you think you have injuries, or you're not sure, don't let your rights expire. Don't say, hey, everything's cool. What you need to do, of course, is take care of yourself. You don't want to look for trouble, but you do want to preserve your rights. John Fuller is a personal injury attorney who will offer free legal advice. Now, why the heck will he do that? Because he wants clients. But that doesn't mean he will take you if he doesn't think you have a case. He will let you know the truth. That's what you need. You don't need someone to sign you up. You need someone to give you the truth. 303-597-4500. 597-4500. PersonalInjuryCO.com.
So when you go to a live commercial, really? Hi, Dan Chiquini, done my kitchen fast. Order a steak.
An admiral, a doctor, and you ran a hospital.
That's my real
That is incredible.
Yeah.
That's a nice pedigree there, man. And what would your dad do?
Surgeon also for the Navy. But never got to mom's rank.
How come you never medical?
You have to have a certain desire to help people that I really don't have to become a doctor.
Call and check us out.
So,
Your dad had to salute your mom.
Enjoy it.
That's crazy.
Women's lib.
Give him an answer.
Is he going to sale now for moving? Buy and build? He's
All right,
talking
guys,
about
we'll
that.
see you.
Take
Bye.
care.
50% off. They're already low prices. Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Tell your son we're
Buy and
ready.
Build is moving. Yes. They're at 4800 Washington Street, a giant, big, ugly warehouse. He's going to get a bigger, even uglier warehouse. No, not really. He's going to get a beautiful place. We'll announce that sometime in the future. But here's the good news. Buy and Build, which already has crazy, crazy low prices, even has lower prices now. Lighting fixtures, plumbing fixtures, cabinets, all kinds of stuff. You got to see them. Buyandbuild.net, 4800 Washington Street. That's 303-295-6022.
Fixed income. That's another big one.
Yeah, we get it all the time.
I'm on fixed
income.
income.
I hear it all the time. The guy's making $240,000 a year on fixed income. I'm on a fixed income.
It's literally fixed.
Yeah, it's only $250,000 a year, so you're right.
That is it, right?
Give me a discount.
What was I going to say to you? You should have said, hey, why don't you fix Ross's cat?
It's got all their information, so
You're a doctor.
and the date. Oh,
People are. People drive me insane.
I told him, call you.
She said, if you're a real doctor, you should fix Ross's calf.
Where's this located?
Tell you the farm west.
I was going to say, no one's going to make excuses to play racquetball.
She owned all the property.
Oh, my ankle hurts. Here's a big one. I'm a talk show host. You too.
I'm a talk show host. I need some money. I don't know if your gardener's going to be out there, bro.
Yeah, Mark, there's really something wrong with the phones. I swear to God, this has never, ever happened where you have zero.
It's the slowest I remember.
No, there's something wrong. I mean, this is, like yesterday, Suzanne, there is something drastically wrong. I mean, I gotta believe it. We have never had it where you have zero.
I can tell a knock-knock joke.
It's just weird. Do we have outbound? And if we don't, we really need to concentrate on that. Really, Dan, on the 303 Martino, you better concentrate on getting people's numbers.
Outbound.
I don't get them. You got them all.
Who does the?
Those who do every morning. They
You mean there was zero this morning?
That's weird. Zero. Then there's something wrong.
Sometimes we have.
That's impossible.
Sometimes we have 20.
I've never had zero messages and zero calls. That's never happened. It's just never happened.
But we have emails.
Why did the chicken cross the basketball court?
I know about that, and I got to think about it. I got to think about it.
He heard the ref was blowing fouls.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. What's going on in your life, and how can we help you? ApprovalReverse.com. Remember that name if you don't want to get ripped off and you want the truth about reverse mortgages. It's a rare animal. I'm not saying they're bad. They're actually really good for some people who want to cash in on equity. So if you have equity in your home and you're older than 62, I recommend you be older than 72, but you make that decision. But Joan Sullivan will tell you the truth. ApprovalReverse.com. It's very important you get the right people because so many people are getting loans that are inappropriate for them. And anyway, a reverse loan can be just the ticket, especially if you use it as a line of credit where it's there just for an emergency. 303-771-3528. As you get older, one of the things, too, people that are victimized usually have things to lose. Now, we do have a lot of poor people victimized and people who don't have a lot of money, but it's mostly people who do have money. And again, you guys were mentioning something else, fixed income. That is, again, another either disability or specified class or special class, I call it. So they say, I'm on a fixed income. I'm a senior citizen. I'm a veteran. I'm a single mom. I'm disabled. I'm sick. These things come with the victim mentality, and normally, somehow people know it. They just gravitate toward them. A lack of communication, a lack of education and research. People do not educate and research themselves, or research their topics, I mean. And it's with the internet, you know, there's absolutely no excuse ever not to research a topic, ever. We are talking about mudjacking. Okay, what the hell is mudjacking? Look it up, and you can find out what it is, and you can find out what plastic is compared to mud. Why do they call it mud? How does it work? You could probably find videos online of concrete being lifted and how it works. You know, so any topic, you just ask about it, you Google it, and you can find out answers, and again, you'll find out the thread of truth, because even on the internet, of course, you're going to find a bunch of mixed information. So another thing that victims have, most of the time, bad credit. I mean that. And now, why would that make you a victim, and how would people even know that? Well, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did they get ripped off and not make the payments, so therefore their credit was ruined, even though, you know, like a timeshare or something, and they decided, screw you, I'm not paying for this? Or that could happen. Or another thing with bad credit is that people... It goes to show you that they don't care, they don't research, they don't educate, and they don't really think much of their name. So therefore, they trash their own name by not paying bills, borrowing money, whatever, and that, or co-signing on other people's loans, and then they decide not to pay it, and that becomes an issue in and of itself. If I take most of the victims on my show, you will find they're either disabled, sick, or in a special class. You will find they have a hard time communicating. They do not do education and research. I love when they say, well, he gave me 20 references. Did you check one? No. He just gave them to me. And then their name is trashed. Their own name, with credit and with dealings. If you ask, how many times have we had a victim call this show and we say, oh, we feel so sorry for them. Then we call up and start doing research. And we find out they have multiple felonies, or they went bankrupt 3 times, or they ran out on the last landlord and they're having a problem with this one, or they can't keep a job, or on and on and on. That doesn't mean we won't help the victim. Of course we will. Victims sometimes, you know, I mean, they're victims. But we find out there are multi-layers to this victimization. Now, when you put all these together, listen to what it is. So you have somebody also that is, I'm going to put it together in a minute. How about appearance? Almost every victim has a problem with their appearance. That's right. Now this might be controversial, but I'm telling you, I'm going back more than 40 years, and no one has as much data as I do. They are either inappropriate for the situation. In other words, they answer the door with their bathrobe and slippers on. It gives someone the idea they're not with it. Or they are overdressed for a situation, or they look like a bum, or whatever. They are inappropriate in appearance. Or they're not groomed. People look for signals. If you go to a used car place and a guy notices you're ungroomed, they start registering that you're not sharp and that you're not attentive. And therefore, even psychologically, without realizing it, they are moving in on you subconsciously because they have pegged you as a victim. So they will have a problem with their appearance of some kind. And that can go the other way. It can be that they're overly dressed or overly, they look, they just look weird. I know that with veterans, for example, in the Colorado Springs area, if you go to do business and you have your fatigues on, or you're dressed in military garb, you have double the chance of being a victim. They love you because you have a guaranteed income, probably stable, and they love taking advantage of you. Military people have a terrible time because they love taking advantage of young soldiers. That's why you will find a lot of these shops,
check cashing, pawn
shops, all of these kinds of places near an Army base. By the way, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I'm convinced something is wrong with the phone. So this is the, and I don't normally mention this, but we usually have full lines all the time. So if something's wrong, fine. If not, then it's just a weird day. But 303-713-8255. So when you talk about appearance, you talk about communication, you talk about education and research, and you talk about someone's name, what does it all come together as? This is going to help you remember. Amen. Think about this. Amen. A is for appearance. M is for communication. Signifies your mouth. Education and research is E, and your name is N. Amen. If you think of that and avoid those traits, people won't get the signal that you are a deadbeat. And people won't move in for the kill. Because I would say 98% of all victims I've run across share these traits. Ron, what's going on with your 06?
Well, the roof is rusted. The paint, well, it happened about 2 years ago. All of a sudden, the paint just started chipping away, and then now it's starting to rust up. And I've noticed probably 3 or 4 other Tacomas, approximately.
That's weird. That's weird. Yeah. Hold on a second, Suzanne. Can we get somebody from Pro Auto on about, or let's do Pro Auto. They see a lot of Toyotas, and see if they can talk to this. And then anyone else listening, a Toyota Tacoma, he's having some rust and paint problems. Ron, I want to give you a little more time.
This report is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
trying to call me because I said his name.
Yeah. Oh, because you were looking at the phone.
He is the funniest guy, man. He is as old school gets.
Absolutely.
I'm probably
He checks his messages at 5 o'clock at night, and then we'll call back. No cell phone.
No email. Oh, actually, you know what?
Yep, we send him a letter saying he's been on the referral list for 20 years. Each year we update it, we got to snail mail it to him. No email.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Howard.
He's a good old guy, though.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's a good old boy.
It's just, he's so stuck in a certain time. It's so funny.
Well, we had a guy who did.
His truck's a big ass truck.
Could've been on your cell phone though, right? And boy, he would call on it all the time. Why is he?
Hold on, guys.
On the phone. This is rocketmortgage.com. License 50 states. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 3030.
Fix It 24/7. Fix It 24/7. The $39 people for $39 they'll assess any problem with plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, and give you an honest assessment. If you decide not to have the work done, you don't pay anything but the $39. If you decide to have the work done, they credit you the $39. It's really that simple. It's a very, very simple proposition. All prices are upfront. They stick to it, and they guarantee everything. That's 720-526-3939 or fixmyhome.com.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom is a flawless video.
God, this place is so nice.
Instant sharing across
That's your room?
mobile, tablet,
Yeah, right.
desktop device.
It's a lobby.
But the
Oh,
best thing about
that's not. That's a standard. Our room is actually 2,200 square feet. It's huge. 2,200. Yeah. Got a pool table and a piano.
Where are you going?
Green Valley Ranch, big spa.
Oh, yeah.
Green Valley Ranch.
Henderson.
Isn't that funny that?
Henderson, right?
Yeah, it's in Henderson.
Yeah, it's a totally different kind of casino.
Oh, it's top notch.
It
That's
is.
funny. That's we have the Green Valley Ranch here. You know,
Oh.
that housing development.
It's huge. Yeah, out by the airport.
Yeah.
But this is an all-inclusive.
No, it's not all inclusive.
But
It's just it's more of a resort than
I
it
wonder
is
if
a
all-inclusive
casino.
resorts are worth it.
Fuck yeah, Mexico, man, those are my favorite. Although I'm afraid you'll die now. Some of them though are, I mean, a good one's $600 a night, man. But they have high-end restaurants and high-end liquor and stuff. And then, you know, some of them, the jet skis, the paddle boats, the sailboats, all that's included. If you use all the amenities, I feel bad now because I only eat once a day, so I don't. When we used to go, I'd eat all day long, so I felt like I was getting my money's worth. So now it's like I got to drink 5 times as more to make up to the food I do.
Go on navigation, just quit fasting.
God, yeah.
His name's on there, too. The guy who did it.
I tried
His
49.
name's on there.
God, that's too low.
Don't have 45.
We blank it out to
Oh.
everybody else.
Ah, you're going up.
Anybody, we blanked everything out.
I don't want.
Just want to
Oh, so this doctor here, eggs. Oh, 2 eggs a week is a.
Oh, the cholesterol thing. I love eggs. I haven't had a lot of eggs lately.
They're wonderful. The most perfect food.
I know my doctor, and this is why most doctors do not do.
Well, doctors don't know shit about nutrition.
Exactly.
They're the perfect food balance with fat, protein. No, if you follow that balance, that's what. Well, it's the origin of life.
Right, right. He says egg whites are fine. Yo.
Oh, really? Yeah. Look, how full of shit. Do you realize, first of all, just chemistry, cholesterol ingested cannot turn into cholesterol. It just can't. How the fuck do people say that? I mean, it is the most stupid thing.
But there's a new study that came out that they didn't like eggs and stuff.
Oh,
I know they did a lot
for other reasons. It's for because they have a high risk of other things like the yes, but it has nothing to do with the composition of nutrition at all. You know, obviously, no, there are a lot of shit eggs, but it has nothing to do with the egg itself, the way God made it.
No, I agree. I just turn it off when I, like I said,
people just leave.
They used to do it. They started concrete. Everything imported was 5 inches.
What is that? Ottoman? What's the size of your ottoman?
I know. That's our living room.
500 PSI concrete.
I guess you could sleep on that.
I don't care what the PSI is.
It's like a 75-inch TV.
when you put a stamp in
And
it.
see what's, I want to get a sense of that.
Anyway, and that's where it broke.
Well, I got
That's why you gotta put.
What is
I got
it?
80.
You got an 81?
And these guys don't do it, so
Vizio.
they can cut the
And it's
cost.
Is it Vizio? So what?
It's got all the nice backlighting. It's about,
But
they're probably 3 right now.
used to play for the Kansas
But it's
City.
got all the backlighting.
What are you talking about, Mark?
Costco or Sam's, one of the two. Probably Costco.
Yep, but I won't buy them.
TV we bought.
I just eat it.
So you want...
What's special about it, Mark? What do you got
You
going?
want,
Anything
you
new?
want like the OLED. You want the backlighting. So your blacks are black. They're not kind of gray. Yeah,
Backlighting.
That's what you pay for nowadays. The 4K and all that's cheap.
Put 3 by 3 feet on center. and
I
both
love
every
technology.
side port.
The Sony.
I love technology, guys.
You know what's bad though about it?
I know, it changes. That's right.
So quick.
You cannot stay up with it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but
Anything you buy is bullshit.
Here's the thing that I.
What's that?
TV now, if you buy it, you're still going to have it 5 years.
Oh, no, you'll have it, but like you say, the 80, they didn't have 80 inches
On Sunday.
3 years ago.
Or they were out, or you couldn't buy them at $20,000. Or they were multiple channels.
What?
Or you gotta go
What the hell's that
to
for?
Dallas Stadium.
Gotta love that.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Let's just ask Pro Auto
Care. Al Ramos, he sees a lot of Toyotas. I want to ask him, hey, Al, do you hear, I got Ron on the phone, and TJ, Kathy, and Brian will be right with you. He says a Toyota, I'm going to put you on hold for a second, Ron, because your noise, road noise. He sees a lot of rusting and paint chipping on his roof on his 06 Toyota Tacoma. Do you see rust problems with Toyota ever?
Well, any of the vehicles, Tom, when the paint gets scratched or broken down to the metal, that's when it starts getting that rust. That's the only way it can happen.
But do you see it particularly, though, with the Toyota, since you see so many Toyotas?
Yes. So I hear your question. So, yeah, we see it, but it's not like it's any greater amount than any other vehicle.
Okay.
I think here's what we see a lot of. So, like fender flares and the moldings that go, they start getting loose. They start wearing back and forth, and all of a sudden we see the paint come off, and you expose the metal. The water gets in there and starts rusting.
Got it.
On the top of the roofs, those are typically what we see is either garage doors that come down and hit them. We see where they go into car washes, and maybe the thing starts hitting them because we see cars like that. And those scratches get so down to the surface, they just start getting bad.
All right, hold on a sec. Ron?
Yeah.
Ron, Al is saying, he doesn't see it anymore in Toyotas.
Well, it's a specific color. I think they call it flint gray. And
is it a flat color?
Not a flat color, no.
Okay.
It's a really, really dark gray.
But let's just put it this way. If, in fact, you do have a problem, what are you calling about? In other words, you understand nothing under warranty would even come close to covering it.
Yeah. I was wondering if there was a recall on that or something, or if
there is no recall that we found at all. We ran it through, and that's the first thing we do. We check on all of those, and we could find no recall on that. So really, especially the age, we have found when it comes to paint and finish, unless it's a serious defect, there have been defects in the past that have been truly big defects, like with the primers and stuff like that. Al, I know, you recalls of certain cars. There was a DuPont primer, I believe, many years ago. But you don't. You don't know of anything.
Here's the thing on a Toyota. What he's probably alluded, because there was those ages where the Toyotas really did have a problem. They were rusting out way prematurely, and so much has been corrected.
Yeah.
Remember the recall. When he starts talking recall, recall is safety related.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
So with suspension members, frames, and stuff like that,
I think
falls under different classes where they extend the coverage for it.
Exactly. That's a little different. Most of all, the recalls, you're right, they're safety. The other ones... okay, we just lost her. I was going to take her. Brian, go ahead. What's going on with you, Brian? What's happening?
Hey, Tom. Thanks for taking my call on this rainy day.
Yes, sir.
Well, thinking about victims of various things.
Yes.
My wife, about 3 weeks ago, was involved with a smash and take, so to say.
Like, what do you mean? Was she in the car?
No, she was walking my daughter's dog over at a dog park.
Yes.
And what do you do in a dog park? You ooh and ah about all the other people's dogs.
Right.
So you're not paying attention to the parking lot.
And what happened?
Well, 5 different vehicles at the same time.
Wow.
They look to see which car they're going to hit. They break the window and they take anything that's there to grab, and they do it like within 30 seconds.
What was taken from her?
Her purse.
Oh my God! Her purse was in view.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Smash
I know.
and grab.
She, you know what? She's really good about it. She normally never does. She sticks in the trunk, hides under the seat, something. She covers it. So she goes, I don't know what I was thinking. I looked straight at it and even said, okay.
You know, your homeowners, to a certain extent, will cover off-premises coverage on.
Well, unfortunately, what happened was these guys, these people, immediately went to their closest. There was 2 Walmarts close to this dog park. This was up in Thornton.
Yeah.
And they went to 2 different Walmarts and immediately charged more than, well, it was right around $7,000, wiped out our entire account.
Oh, holy crap. Wait a minute, you can't do anything about that one?
Well, no, we did. Our bank, our USAA,
Good.
And TCF, they immediately reversed everything and,
good.
of course, launched a fraud on it. But the officer of Westminster had said that 2 of the biggest targets are dog parks and hiking trails.
Oh, very interesting. You know why? Because people are preoccupied.
They absolutely are. She couldn't believe it at the dog park.
That is good advice.
20 yards away.
But you know, I mean, she's never going to leave stuff within view. That really just tempts fate. I don't even leave a charger in the charger where they can see a cord, because if they can't see the end of the cord, they might think something's connected to it. Thank you for that. We'll come back to TJ. He has a problem. If you want to get your calls in, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Man,
20 yards
smash
away,
and grab,
And Walmart's no responsibility? $7,000? Come on.
Why would Walmart be responsible?
Well, guy walks in, comes to you want to see his ID?
I think they should do more too on that.
I mean,
Just like
they
the
should.
iTunes cards that they buy there, they come in with.
When I go to Home Depot, they ask me for ID every single time.
No, he wasn't talking about the parking lot. He's talking about the store for taking that without.
Right,
Yeah, that guy walking into Walmart, running a card.
Or checking the ID with it.
Look what happened to us in Vector Bank. I mean, we have a guy on a Friday afternoon who goes into Vector Bank with a check and cashes it, and then right after that another one cashes it, right? And it was so-called paycheck. You know, we never found out how that person, how they got our banking account information.
Could have been any check we wrote to anybody.
They just copied it.
Bart. It's probably Bart.
They made up 2 checks. And
Dan!
Here's what the bank says. These banks suck. Here's what they say. Well, it's under investigation.
Buying 7,000, they don't look at the ID.
And they gave us
7,000
additional credit.
On a credit card, and they don't check the ID.
And
I think
they have
that's
never
the
once
worst issue.
contacted us.
Well, what does it even
So
matter? They wouldn't have to.
this day,
They'll be protected on their
such a crime.
card anyhow.
Well, I understand, but wouldn't you, if the guy comes in and charges $7,000, let's see your driver's license?
I don't know.
Well, there's 2 dudes now. So they both did do $3,500, but still, I gotta say,
I don't know that.
Walmart's gotta have something there.
You know what?
I had plenty of high ticket items. I mean, I'd have cars leave with new engines and trainings at $6-7 grand. I can't say I ever looked at the ID.
But you had the
As
car
long as I
license. You had
swiped
the
it,
car.
I'm golden.
You had the car license and everything.
Wait, as long as you swipe.
Vehicles.
Yeah, if I swiped it, I'm golden. There's no, they're not getting it back no matter what. If I keyed it in, then you could get fucked. But Walmart's not keying in any
Walmart hires uneducated, low-wage employees, puts them in place, and then lines people out the door, and they need to process those people to keep their job. They don't take the time. I went to that Flatirons Mall and bought my wife some stuff for Christmas at the Victoria's Secrets. I drove from there to my house, 45 minutes. I had a notice from my credit card company that $6,000 had been charged at 3 different stores in New York. That quick, 45 minutes after I left.
You know, Capital One's pretty good.
You know, and they gave me my money back immediately. They launched a fraud investigation. It wasn't a problem for me, but it was that quick. 45 minutes. They had the information in New Jersey and
Now,
New
why
York.
did they cancel everything at school? There's nothing going on, you jerks.
It's still saying snow.
It's coming, bro. Oh,
It's supposed to start by now.
I meant to delete that stupid text from the school, and I deleted yours. Please resend. I'm so sorry. I just. Well, I wonder why I didn't go through the first time, but I'll get it this time. I swiped the wrong one.
Go to trash.
Thanks, man.
Get out of here.
Get out
Oh,
of
wait. I might still have it on here. Hold on.
These are the worst hotels.
No, I don't. Okay.
On the strip.
That's where I go.
Thank you.
The Hooters one, they made it sound just as...
Why would you go to these hotels when you get such cheap at casinos?
Well, no, but Hooters was $24 a night. I don't think you're getting that. MGM in those places aren't that cheap anymore, bro.
Hooters? 24, was it Hooters?
Not a charger. Oh, wait.
It looked horrible. I've been in it once just to casino. I never
Here.
stayed
Oh,
there.
wait. Yeah, here. This.
I know Circus you put it really going down.
They had a who's one of the older quarterbacks? He had a restaurant there that I
Or
worked
you want to just pop that off, then we know.
older than
Joe Montana.
Oh, yeah. I think it was Montana.
Joe Namath.
Yes, Flash.
It's Montana or Namath.
I've never done that. That's
It's
cool.
a Joe.
That's what I have here.
Joe Cap.
Steakhouse.
It might have been one I didn't go in the first place.
Joe Quarterbacks.
Because it was dynamo.
Joe
Montana.
Montana, I think it is. I think it was called Montana's.
Montana's, yeah.
Let's see.
Steakhouse?
He doesn't own these Montanas, though. That's,
No, that's Ted.
yeah.
Montana,
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the stupid Ted Montana Steakhouse.
yeah, Ted Turner's. That'll lighten your wallet a little. Down here in Aspen Grove.
There's a Ted Turner's.
Ted Turner owns the Buffalo,
This report is sponsored
No, the Montana Grill. right
Montana
there.
Grill. Yes.
It's not that
Ted
expensive.
Turner.
Is
It
it?
really
The
is.
owner of
but it's not
Atlanta Braves.
expensive.
Oh, yes, it is. You haven't been in there. Same as Ruth Chris. Pretty much up there.
Montana? Are you kidding me? That doesn't look
I
like.
think so. I walked in there. I was late.
Hell no.
No, I've
I've been
like
to Ted's
5, 6
Montana
years
Grill.
ago.
You're talking about Ted's Montana Grill?
Yeah.
That's not expensive.
Hold on, guys.
It's not.
All right, I said it before. I'll say it again. Say it with me. PriceFixerDenver.com. They employ only true technicians. Here's the bottom line. If you need your furnace or air conditioner repaired, they don't charge a trip charge, same-day service, no diagnostic fee, and my favorite, transparent pricing. A lot of times they'll tell you how much the repair will be on your furnace or AC. Over the phone, you're going to know everything. They're transparent. The best prices out there, the best guarantees. In fact, go to PriceFixerDenver.com. You can get a list of their 6 great guarantees. My favorite, of course, ready for this one? The 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you need a new furnace or AC, you're going to get the best price you're going to get anywhere. They've got the lowest price guarantee. If I listed all their guarantees, we'd be here for about a year. But they're great people. They're locally owned. The True Tech technicians will never try to upcharge you. They don't work on commission. They're simply the greatest. You ready? PriceFixerDenver.com.
I know. That's why.
You're saying
No,
that
they're
they
not
are
horrible.
like.
They're not horrible.
No, no,
We
they're
just
like
don't get into the
Ruth
booze
Chris.
and everything else.
But you
No, Ruth Chris for a lot more.
Make the right choice.
What do you
We'll talk about call.
And then what's called Perry's is another one.
Perry's, that pork chop is
Shanahan's is
unbelievable.
another one. Shanahan's is another one.
Shanahan's I've been to. That's like about $200 every time I go.
I think Shanahan's.
What's that place right on the
I do too. I like Nell's way better than Shanahan's.
Del Tacos or Del Frisco?
I like, depending on Taco.
Del
Still
Taco.
Taco, he's still Taco. Yeah, come on. You don't get a steak at Del
I'd say
Taco.
best in town is Dallas to make steaks.
I
Followed by
Ross's name ran up Desmond Naval Hospital.
Yeah, I know.
And is it
By the way,
So
the
that's
president,
huge,
the
bro.
president of the United States gets checkups there. That's where he got it.
or an emergency, right?
And did you see how humble and
Calm.
you know, what amazing.
And hubby had this.
She looked good.
Yeah,
I mean, Ross has got to be, what, 45?
Yeah,
52? I mean, she looked really good.
really good.
She was probably, I think she
Probably
was,
my age.
no, she was 94, she said.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she has to be a little.
She's got to be older. Well, I mean, most likely.
My,
Wanted to be in the
I
ground.
could have.
Why'd you ask me about
Beautiful counter.
Because he's so,
cabinets direct.
because he's him and she's an admiral. It didn't add
He's got a
up.
brother. He's got a brother.
If you're doing a kitchen project, you
Is he military, doctor? No. I'm surprised that both his dad's a surgeon, and he never went into medical.
If you like it, you will go to the showroom.
Go to your
material, your
Yeah.
edges, your sinks.
Didn't care about people.
He cares. I think he phrased it a little different.
Let him bleed out.
Hey, Mom, help. Fix this.
Okay, here's the worst one on the strip, they said. Circus.
The worst what?
It used to be
Worst hotel.
Circus used to be extremely popular for
I never
kids
stayed
and
there. I
stuff.
stayed at the Bellagio most of the time.
No,
We always
I mean,
go
I'm
way
talking
off
30 years ago,
What's that?
40 years ago.
We always go way off strip. We stay in like Red Rocks and Green Valley. I don't like staying on the strips or downtown. I like the big resorts.
Well, I don't go there anymore, but when I did, it was Bellagio, and I hated it.
It's a motor lodge now? Circus.
I don't have one good memory of Vegas.
I guess they've been downgraded. The
Visit your
hotel
money every
had a
time you go.
smell to it.
I think it has been.
The ice machine broke, and there was
Nothing about it.
mold. The entire ground
But it
floor.
was a big
The only thing I like
family.
is the Circus Soleil.
That was a big
They have
family.
amazing
It had all the rides for the kids.
rides.
It still has the whole act thing.
Yeah, I went to.
That's where my phone got stolen by the
Oh, really?
ride share company because I agreed never to mention them after they settled with me.
Okay, let's get to the phone.
Welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. In the house, we got a mud jacking company if you're interested in that. And we also have First Call Heating and Air, a friend of ours from the referral list, just stopping by to say hi. So obviously, if you have any calls for them, we'll take them. And anything you want to talk about, problems, questions, and complaints, let's get right to it. Jackie, what's going on with you, Jackie?
Hey, Tom. I've listened to you for probably 30 years now.
Wow.
And I want you to know I love you.
Thank you.
You have a hard-ass job.
I love hearing it.
You try to educate us. You try to teach us how to go out in this world, be responsible, learn from things. It's like you try to prepare us for everything.
Thank you.
Every end of the aspect.
Thanks,
I
Jackie.
love you for that.
Okay, you got to come in and
visit.
She has to come in and visit us. Yes, that's Mark doing that. Jackie, thank you. I'm serious. Suzanne asked Jackie if she ever wants to come in. We have a common man, we call it a common man. And you sit in the chair and you just.
I don't want to watch her kiss your ass for 3 hours.
Ah, she just
pull that invite.
Now, by the way, Jackie started listening to me 30-some years. So I was like 35 years old. Think of that. That was. And then some people have been listening to 40 years. Think about that. Okay, let's go, Nicole. What's going on in your life, Nicole?
Hi, my name is Nicole, and
Yes.
I don't even know where to start.
All right, just start anywhere,
ex,
and we'll work backwards. Go ahead, or forward.
My ex, I met. Well, I have a 9-year-old daughter with, and he has been in and out of prison most of her life. He just got out in July. His daddy is.
Were you ever married to him?
No, we lived together when she was first born up until she was 2, and I had to save money and a locker room at work and hide it to leave him because it was an abusive relationship.
Okay.
And his dad is a CEO of Bronage Bone and makes quite a bit of money. Also, is the owner of EcoPan, and he paid for him to get out of prison pretty much. And they have destroyed my life.
What was he in jail? What was he in prison for?
For domestic violence on other people and assault and all this.
Holy
other stuff.
crap! And your daughter is how old?
She's 9. She's done.
Does he have any parental?
Stole her from me 2 days ago. They legally stole her from me 2 days ago.
Oh, wait a minute. I was going to ask, first of all, did he have any parental rights?
No, he didn't have any. He was on supervised visitations when he got out, and then he just got off supervised visitations. He only sees her a few hours a day a week.
So how did they take her?
They have fake, well, not fake. They have lied about getting restraining orders between me and the guy that I've been with for 7 years, my fiance, and he and her had an awesome relationship. I mean, he was the best family man ever.
Okay, Nicole. Now I can see why. Hold on. I can see why you didn't know where to start. So I'm going to help you. Hold on, because this is really important. First and foremost, your daughter's 9, and when exactly did he get out of jail? Like a month?
July 28th.
Okay, hold on. July of 2018.
Prison, not jail, prison.
July 2018, out of prison, and he had supervised visitation. Did he go to court to get it, or did you simply resume? He went to court. And when you went to court, they ordered supervised. Then when he went off of supervised, did you go back to court?
Yes.
And what, okay, did he make the motion when you went back to court?
Yes.
Okay, and in that courtroom, did you oppose?
Yes. No, I did not actually, because his dad, who's actually even got away with murdering his wife, was putting so much into destroying Jason and I, you know.
Okay, hold on. I understand. Don't volunteer a lot until I ask, because I don't want you to screw your own case here. So you had then unsupervised supervision as of when?
As of December.
Okay, as of December 2018. Now the next question: this unsupervised visitation, how was it going before this all happened? How often did he see her?
He sees her Monday and Fridays from 5 to 8, and from Sundays 9 to 5.
Monday and Fridays. Okay, hold on. And Sundays. Then, what is the latest when he took her? Did he take her, or did the court allow him to?
The court allowed him because
when was that hearing? When was that hearing?
Well, there wasn't a hearing. They put an emergency motion in at 4:58. His attorney did, and I dropped her off at 5.
Okay, hold on. So there was an emergency motion on Friday?
That he put in. I didn't know.
I understand. It's called ex parte, and they do it for emergency. But, Nicole, usually any ex parte motion is temporary. So hold on. Don't jump ahead. They got an emergency motion on Friday. Is that right?
Yes. On Monday. I'm sorry, Monday.
We're talking just 2 days ago.
Monday.
Okay, on Monday, and the motion was for what? What did the motion say, or what did the court order say?
That I had her in danger when I was in a public area, and we accidentally ran into my fiance that they lied about putting restraining order on.
Right. So what did they say happened?
We were within 3 feet, and when we noticed that we were close to each other in a public area, we separated.
Now, hold on.
Private investigators help me all the time, so they got that picture of her being within 3 feet.
You're saying too much, Nicole. Listen, man, I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to get help, and you're going to get totally ramrodded and screwed if you do not at least hold on, because I'm on your side. You don't have to give any more information than I ask, because you sound nuts when you do. Here's what I need to know. When you were accused in this motion, this emergency motion, you were accused of putting your daughter in danger because of your fiance. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. What now? Are you and your fiance truly at odds?
What do you mean by odds?
Do you have a restraining order against him?
Yes.
Okay, so is it safe to say he's no longer your fiance?
Right, correct.
Okay.
But I don't have the restraining order. They have the restraining order on her and him.
Who has a restraining order?
Her dad and her grandpa.
But okay, so when you ran into the fiance, or the fiance, okay, when you ran into him, what did you truly run into him with your daughter?
Yeah, and when we noticed, we separated.
Okay, but when you say when you noticed you separated, you said you did not have a restraining order. So why did you separate?
Jay Lee has my daughter has a restraining order on him.
Okay, so the dad got a restraining order saying that that man cannot come close to her. Okay. Correct. Why? What is wrong with this fiance? Tell me what's going on with him.
Well, they lied about him, and they got a restraining order.
I'm not asking, Nicole. I'm not asking what they said about him. I am asking you as a mom.
They said that they beat her. They're saying that he beat her. And
okay. Why are you no longer with this fiance? Why?
Because they also went to court and had a restraining order. But
Nicole, why are you...
Or my ex and I.
Nicole, why are you not going to marry this guy? Just in plain English, not what your ex did.
Because it is what they did. Because I'm not allowed to be around him because of all the things that they've caused in my life.
Nicole, I am asking you if you have an issue with this man.
No, I don't have an issue with him. He was a wonderful man.
You were going to marry him.
Yes, I would still marry him.
And the reason you are not marrying him is because of what your ex-husband said about him?
No, it's because of what they've done legally by lying in the justice system, getting away with it.
Okay, and by lying, there's nothing they can do to prevent you, an adult, from marrying this man, so that doesn't make sense to me.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Nicole, listen, okay? You got to calm down. You just heard what I said. There is nothing... Listen to what I'm saying. Don't just yes me. Listen. There is nothing your ex-husband can do to prevent you from marrying this man. So, you are not telling me the truth. I'm
telling you the truth.
Okay.
Like that's,
Nicole,
you're not hearing the whole story.
Nicole, there is nothing this man, I'm going to say it again, there is nothing legally that anyone can do to prevent you from exercising your freedom to marry anyone you want. So tell me.
When it involves me having my children taken from me, it does.
Okay, now that's a different story. That's logical. So you're saying if you wanted to, you could marry the guy, but your daughter is not allowed to be near him.
Right.
Okay, so that's where they lied. They tried to make it that this man is endangering your daughter, but you're saying this man is not endangering your daughter, but you are willing to give up that relationship to keep your daughter.
Exactly.
Okay, hold on a second. 303-713-8255. You know, the most impossible thing in the world is to get information when people have been screwed. Okay, Nicole, because you don't want to tell me what you don't agree with, and you have to tell me and always preface it. Sometimes I say, is there a restraining order? They lied, blah, blah, blah. I just want to know, is there a restraining order, yes or no? Because we got to cut through all the bull crap in order to help you. Hold on.
This report is sponsored by...
God in heaven.
1 minute, K&H.
No, I wouldn't.
It's
a mile a minute.
God, she was horrible. Maybe she's on meth.
Tell you what, though.
Maybe your ex needs
Doesn't that drive you crazy?
There's no doubt that money influences our court system.
You just talked about it.
You ask questions.
Absolutely. You just prefaced that the entire show.
Who do you think the CEO of?
Everything we just said.
I know. Some companies have the CEO of construction company down
Okay, say that again. What it was?
Construction company?
Yeah.
Okay.
Traffic and weather. I'm Pete Wagner. 630 K-How.
Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans is with you every step of the way to provide a seamless mortgage experience. Visit rocketmortgage.com.
What's the worst tourist trap?
The best siding anywhere right now, is called Everlast Siding. The color goes through and through, so it'll never need painting, never need maintenance. It's made with minerals and plastics fused together for a durable yet beautiful finish. It's color fast, and here's the deal. It's a lifetime siding, and now K&H Home Solutions is selling it for 40% off. Call for details, 40% off, that's almost half. This is the best siding at the best price, and it outperforms all other siding. They also are throwing in windows and doors for 25% off, so give your house a spring makeover. You will love K&H Home Solutions. If you go on this website, you can make your own appointment. It's khwindows.com, khwindows.com. The phone number, if you want to talk to them, is 303-421-7100, 303-421-7100. Mention the Everlast Siding Special, and you will love it.
Making weird noises, stay close. If you have an issue with your garage door, call Don's Garage Doors, the only garage door company that personally endorsed. I've used Don's Garage Doors in my home, and folks, you should too.
So Greg says Nicole is a nut job.
Well, what's happened? I don't think she's a nut.
No, that's just, it's a no, that came on Facebook.
I know. But here's the deal. She is just totally not seeing anything to the other side. Right.
No, I agree.
Okay, he paid to get his son out of prison. He murders his own wife.
It's all bullshit. She's a nut.
That part made her look like a nut.
Made her look like a nut. She's a nut. He murdered her and they got away with it.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's no in between here. She's a fucking nut.
It's a possibility.
How come everybody doesn't smell a nut? They smell the same way. They act the same way. They talk the same way.
How can you make as much as $1,000?
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Oh, I like that. I'm gonna grab that off the internet.
Did you see the Twix bar now? It's selling 2 lefts instead of 1 left and 1 right Twix bar.
So their mouths are on top of each other?
I don't think that's true. 2 left Twix bars.
Because you break them.
Get it done in as few as 10 days.
Well, that's fine. How can you tell? Does it have nougats? Does Twix bar have a nougat?
10 minutes to start. There's no commission, no obligation, no pressure, and never any
The one with the
upfront
cookie
fees.
crunch.
Just a loan customized for your needs.
Oh, is it working?
No, it's not working.
It wasn't working at all?
You have nothing
Yeah,
to
this
lose.
doesn't have the thing on it, so I'm
See?
surprised.
So give them a call. 303-695.
Oh, it doesn't show. You're right. Hold on. Well, see, if that thing goes out, though, then
It's been sitting on it the whole time. I'll send it to you when I jump back in my truck.
Living stem cell therapy. I can't stress that enough. If you are looking for stem cell therapy, please don't waste your money with these liars.
You guys feel pumping this weather, right?
My guys are working today.
And other fluids.
It doesn't really, it's unlike flat work
it's
cement.
solid.
If it's too wet, he probably.
Yeah, it's not it's mushy down there.
I wonder why that usually works. Mine is older than yours.
like this.
But you drill a hole in the cement though, so it's really
Right,
not.
so it's not really exposed to the weather. What we're doing isn't really exposed.
Clinics truly giving stem cell therapy. Look for their seminars or call them for an evaluation. 303-963-9.
What's your compressive strength of the stuff you put down? And what is it, like 1,000 PSI or?
You know, it's really not a tension strength, it's a compression.
Right. What is the compressive strength?
About 6,000 PSI.
Is it really? What?
It doesn't crash.
That is as much as a driveway.
Oh, yeah, it's stronger than the driveway.
Holy
As far as
cow.
compression, but it doesn't have any tension.
Right, we don't put any
And that's
stuff in
on
there.
purpose.
Right.
We want it to absorb and evaporate water and breathe.
Wow, that's not much, that's not much mud.
Oh, no,
You
it's
know, I
concrete,
lost touch
sand,
with
Portland,
Ginger. I don't know where
cement,
she
and there's
is.
a little bit, and we're gonna change the dirt to crushed
Yeah, I know.
limestone
I
here
coordinate
about
now and then.
6
Yeah, he
weeks.
is.
I'm building a whole new
Yeah.
piece of it.
Well, I ran into a
Crushed
bud.
limestone?
Yeah.
He was doing cell phone towers.
It's slippery, it comes better, fills the voids better. And,
But ginger,
you can put
nothing.
really
That was
thick,
a long
deep
time.
ginger water in it,
This is
so
about
we
the
can
last
take
time I
a lot of
talked
the
to you.
water out of the mix. And I'm building a fully automated piece of equipment where the guys don't have to shovel, it does everything for them. We'll have that online. And
What does it do?
I'm building a new piece of equipment that it's fully automated. It blends and everything like a volumetric mixer for concrete, so they don't have to shovel. I'm taking all of the manual labor out of the process.
When they load up the trucks, right?
Exactly.
I prefer it. Oh boy.
That's all right. Can't make it easy.
I don't like shoveling.
Oh, that's the best. The best is inside.
Hi, Tom Martino. Hey, we will go and talk to Nicole, but I want to talk to Sean quickly, who's been waiting, and then I'll get back to Nicole. We do have some recommendations. Listen, whenever people are involved in a divorce or custody, it gets so crazy. I feel sorry for people because they don't portray themselves in the best light, and that doesn't always mean they're a nut, although Mark seems to make that conclusion.
They all have one thing in common.
What's that?
They seem to never tell you what the hell you're asking.
Okay.
For a long period of time.
I'm going to get back to you, Nicole. Please hang on. And Suzanne, make
Lord
sure she
help
knows
us.
that. Sean, I wanted to get to you, though, because I know this could go a little longer with Nicole. Go ahead, Sean.
Hey, Tom. I'm just wondering, is there an easy way to find out if a fence is on my property or on my neighbor's
Well, a
property?
survey is the best, easiest way. It costs, though. What you could do is eyeball it if you could get to what's called a monument.
Okay.
What they have on surveys, if you look at your little plat plan and you look at your lot survey, they will show corners. And they are not always every corner. Sometimes they just put monuments on certain landmarks, and then you have to measure from that. But if you're lucky and they marked the corners of your lot, you can just eyeball a straight line from one corner, down the line to the next corner.
You can use a metal detector to find that pin.
Yeah, but they don't always pin each and every lot. Sometimes they do pins in major set points and then go off of that and then use sticks. And I always recommend people should go and pin their lots when they move in with permanent pins or markers. They call them monuments. Sean,
what you could just do a survey. I mean, if you don't have one, a survey is not a bad idea.
A real basic idea, hit your county assessor's office online, and a lot of times you'll see your lot outline, but man, it's...
Do you suspect like it's way onto your property or just a little onto your property?
I'm not sure. It's just falling down. I want to replace it, and I don't know if it's my responsibility or my neighbor's.
Well, yeah, it's on. In most communities they spell it out in the HOA, but sometimes it's both. And if you, what about your neighbor? Does your neighbor want to replace it?
He does. He rents from another lady. I don't have an HOA.
Okay. Well, if it's right on the property, if it's on a setback, it's one or the other. Because you can put up a fence on the line with an agreement if you don't have setback requirements. Sometimes there are setback requirements, and they purposely do that. So you set back 5 feet, and your neighbor sets back 5 feet, and then there's a 10-foot swath that can never be used. Other times they do it because they're utility easements, but in many of the older communities, they're on the property line and they're a joint responsibility. I don't know what yours is. Is yours an older community?
It is.
It's probably, in your building department or zoning would know if there's a setback requirement, and if not, if it's a zero lot line, then that fence would be both of yours responsibility.
Do you have a recommendation for
a survey?
Survey? Yeah.
You know, we used to have a lot of them.
I just had a great survey company out. Leave your info.
Yeah, you know, I don't know of any offhand, so I can't tell you. We have lines open and can get plenty of calls in at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Hold on a sec. Now, Nicole, here's what we have so far, and I understand there's a lot of explanation in between, but we have your it's your baby daddy, really, and you were never married to him. He got out of prison. He got unsupervised supervision and then did an emergency order to take the girl, claiming that your fiance is dangerous to her and you violated a restraining order by having her with him and you. Okay, I understand you have all kinds of disputes for that, but any kind of emergency action like this is temporary, especially when it's called ex parte, meaning that you weren't there. So, were you served when they came to get the girl?
No.
Okay, then you have to go to the court and find out what the order said, because the order will contain in it like something that might say, you know, until such time as, or until a hearing is set, or whatever. And then what you need to do is get before a judge, because this is not permanent, most likely.
We have a court hearing on the 17th. There's also a lot of variables at play in this. When they did this, yesterday we were supposed to have mediation.
Okay.
So when all this came about, there's all that. Now, because of mediation yesterday, they don't want me to even see her for 90 days.
Well,
they won't let me talk to her or anything.
You said there's a hearing on the 17th.
Yes.
Well, what is the hearing? Was this hearing set before this
yes.
removal?
Mm-hmm.
And what was what was the hearing for? You're saying, had this never happened at the park, or had they never taken your daughter, there was a hearing set anyway. What was it for?
Right. It was for me being in contempt of court because I didn't make her go to visitations for because she wanted to go with me because he had taken her to the police department and tried to make her say that she was raped, and she wasn't. It upset her. So
How old is she? Did you say 9?
She's 9. She doesn't even know what rape is.
Okay, listen. This is pretty darn serious, okay?
Yeah, it's really serious.
And Nicole, I am just saying this. Right now, you have too many things pending. You have a contempt citation because you're refusing visitation, and he is saying that this ex-boyfriend is dangerous, and he's also saying, and the courts saw enough merit to take her away. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean it's permanent. What you need to know is, when is the hearing for this particular emergency motion? There will be something set for permanency. This is not permanent right now. An emergency motion without you being represented is not permanent. Now,
well, I'm being represented.
Well, what I meant was without you having a hearing.
Right.
Do you have an attorney?
Yes, I do.
What does your attorney say about the emergency motion?
He said that based on everything going on in the court hearing that's coming up, they're going to try to make the court hearing on the 17th for the emergency motion that they put on.
Good. That's what you need to target. You need to target that, and then you need to then limit your response to whether or not this girl is ever going to have contact with this guy. And you will make it clear to the courts that you severed your relationship, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, well, that's what you have to make clear. But Nicole, why is this ex so hell-bent on this fiance, or no, excuse me, ex-fiance? Is there nothing? He's making it all up?
Yes, he's making it all up. They didn't like it when she started to call him daddy on her own. And then they had a really close relationship. Like I said, he was an awesome family guy. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better. And it upset them that that I was even allowing it to happen.
But he never punished her or disciplined her?
No, would she be bad at home? Sometimes I'd be like, you're going to come home and you're going to help me ground these kids. And he'd be like, let's go for ice cream and talk about this. I mean, he was an awesome
All right. So listen, you can't take this lightly, because at this hearing on the 17th, he's going to try to get permanent custody.
Exactly.
Now, here's something that I would just throw out there. If I were you, I would not talk about his dad buying his way out of prison and his dad murdering his own wife, because it makes you sound nutty.
Yeah, I know.
And,
I don't bring that up at all.
You have to confine yourself to the now.
What are they going to do to me?
When you call, well, they're not going to do anything. If you violated the restraining order and they can prove it, you could lose your daughter. I don't know. I doubt that you would lose her totally. You would have visitation the same way he would. Is he proposing to take her 100%? Does he want full custody?
Yes, he has been doing that since he got out of prison.
Okay, so he wants. Why was he in prison?
For drugs, assault, domestic violence.
Okay, so I mean, was he actually convicted of those things?
Yes.
Well, if somebody is convicted of domestic violence, that can pretty much terminate parental rights. So are you sure that was an actual conviction?
I'm positive. I talked to his ex.
Well, then your attorney has to start being more aggressive.
That's what I think so too.
Now, why did you call us? Do you have a specific question you called us about?
I don't know what to do, or where. I mean, I kind of feel like I'm alone on this. Like, I don't.
Well, everyone does, and everyone feels alone when they're involved in a family custody. But they do. They feel like the world's against them. But truly, the courts are impartial. They really are. But they tend to shy away from people who make too many accusations and are too nuts. They really do.
I haven't done that. I've just tried to get along. Like, what can we do to make this?
Well, then what you ought to ask the judge, you ought to ask the judge for mediation. Look, nobody wants to terminate parental rights. Another thing you can do, Nicole, is have another attorney look at your case. Not to fire your attorney, but just look at it. That always helps. And just ask another attorney their opinion.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station.
Yeah, I can't get it in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for him waiting. I thought I could work it in, but it's just a flat-out commercial.
The major averages are mixed in afternoon trading, and
this guy is going.
Last month, consumer prices rising 0.4% in March, up 1.9% from a year earlier. The increase was caused mostly by higher costs for gasoline, electricity, and shelter, according to the Labor Department. And due to congressional pressure over the rising cost of its insulin drugs, French drug maker Sanofi is making their diabetes treatment more affordable for patients. Starting in June, the company will allow patients to pay $99 each month for up to 10 boxes of insulin pens, vials, or some mixture of the two. And leading pharmacy chains are bringing more health services into their drugstores. And Walgreens will be opening primary care doctors' offices in some of its Houston stores through a partnership with
I'm surprised no one's called up about that Proposition 300 or whatever they're trying to pass in Denver.
You know what the U.S.?
No. That any green space in Denver they can camp on and get rid of them.
Homeless?
Yeah.
Who's going to pass that?
So they're voting on it this next month.
Well, then they ought to camp out.
It's called the right to survive.
Which means you can get the prescription medication treatment.
Right to survive. See, told you.
What does that mean? Any green space?
So this is what they say. So parks. So between the sidewalk and the street, you know, like in front of your house, that's usually owned by the city. That
occupying one's own legally parked vehicles, so they can live in their car.
They can live in their car, right?
Good news on the north end of town.
Jesus. And this is just Denver, though.
This is just Denver and Franktown.
I'm canceling my plane tickets.
Franktown has also a right to
Jeez,
survive.
can you imagine that? It's going to be like
it'll be like Seattle. Look at that. There's on YouTube. Seattle is dying.
San Francisco.
What's dying, guys?
Seattle is dying. There's a thing on YouTube because of all the homeless and drugs.
It's horrible, man.
They say they spend
feces.
$100,000 a year on each homeless in Seattle.
Well, what they're saying now is that that's why they're doing this hands-off policy. They want to just that in Denver they passed 300.
No, they haven't passed it.
In Colorado, I know, but they want to say that they can go anywhere they want, where it's public, and we are not. Police are not even allowed to approach them.
And you can't. People can't do it.
Right. If it's public, they're allowed to camp there.
Well,
so, and everyone from around the country will be here.
Of course.
No. San Francisco gives them more money and stuff.
Yeah, it's too. Plus the winters here.
Winters are cold.
You see, I always say life is its own teacher. You know what I'm saying? After a while, like London was trying to do and Paris, after a while, everything open, everything okay, everything accepted, everything. It implodes. I mean, on its own. You know, even if you don't want it to, even if you have good intentions, you can't just or like totally open borders. Well, how ridiculous would that be? Totally open borders.
But here they also said, Michelle, it's really a money grab too, because a lot of people are making money off of the homeless, of all the public, because all the public money coming in. They're using it, you know, they got high salaries and stuff, how they're trying to solve it and everything. That's what it says. Seattle is spending $100,000 a year on each homeless.
Why wouldn't they just buy them around the house?
Exactly. What they should do is Denver homeless is to buy tickets. Where do you want to go? San Diego, LA, San Francisco, Seattle. You got your four choices.
Oh, look at that. This will never pass, dude. Look.
How did it even get up here?
The support got $79,000 coming in, cash contributions. The opposition has got $1.5 million.
But how is that even good on the ballot?
Well, so in that case, come on, man.
But then you got to get so many signatures and stuff on it. It's crazy, really.
They should come up with They should come up with some kind of challenge show where, you know, if they can, I don't know, man, if they can rub two sticks together and cook a squirrel,
then they're camping.
Yeah, homeless camping. Make a reality show.
I think they should say, okay, homeless people, you can eat all the geese you want, all the wild geese. And that would get all the geese out of here. Geese are the dirtiest animals. God, they're dirty.
What about chickens?
You don't see chickens out here. I see geese out here.
In Mexico, they're running around everywhere.
You ever been to Hawaii?
Everywhere.
Crap.
Cats and chickens were everywhere.
Where?
Hawaii. Oh my God.
Yeah, but also homeless.
It is weird, all the chickens.
Everywhere. In Hawaii, they got wild shit.
Wait, I didn't notice that.
Oh my God, they're everywhere.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean?
You must have just stayed in the resorts.
Right.
Well,
I mean,
even the resorts have cats everywhere.
We drove around, you know. I mean,
dude, there was chickens everywhere.
Oh my God, yeah, they have wild chickens in Hawaii everywhere. It's an epidemic.
I didn't know.
Everywhere.
Do the homeless eat them?
I would. Why wouldn't you?
Because
one homeless guy had a deep fryer right there.
They had an Oriental guy that was going over to Sloan's Lake, and he'd throw breadcrumbs out. They'd open the sliding door in his hand and throw breadcrumbs out. And the geese would come over, he'd snatch them up, break their neck, and he'd take them home, cook them for his family. And they arrested him for it. He went to court, and the judge said, look, there's a cultural difference here. I'm not going to do anything, but you have to quit. I thought, let him have them.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, Ken, what's going on with you, Ken? Welcome.
Hi, Tom.
What's happening?
So, right around Thanksgiving, and that's the first time I've done it, I put a profile on a dating site.
Mm-hmm. What dating site?
And it was Zeus.
Okay.
And met a gal, but she's in a different country.
Uh-huh.
And after talking back and forth...
How is Zeus spelled? I'm trying to go to the site to see it.
Zoosk.
Oh, Zoosk. Okay, I would have never guessed. Okay, so anyway, what about it? So she's from another country.
Right, and so she was saying she needs money to renew her visa.
Yeah, that's, that's always the case. Was this after a bit of a relationship, or was she, like, crazy enough to just, ask right up front?
Well, we only had 2 phone calls at that point and have not met in person yet. She sent me pictures.
Yeah.
But what it gets down to...
Let me guess. She's absolutely stunning.
You're right.
Yeah. I love it.
I sent a couple on Western Union.
Wait. You actually sent money?
I did.
You believed in it?
Well, I guess...
99.9% of the time, my figures, people that ask for money on a dating site are ripping you off, and you're being catfished. Now, here's the deal. Especially when they're also so beautiful, it's hard to believe,
Right.
Now, there was this one guy in Boulder, we teased about this, and he said, you're getting ripped off, man. Don't do it. And he said, oh, no, she's flying in and everything. And the couple weeks later, the guy throws a barbecue and has the most beautiful Polynesian wife we have ever seen in our lives, and they're happy to this day. Now, I am saying that is so unusual that, oh, my God. I mean, and then, but it was funny because we were sure he was ripped off. Anyway, what's going on?
So the latest is, I know not to send any more money.
How much did you send in total? How much did you send?
About 1,800, 3 different Western Unions.
Well, you must have got at least some naked pictures for that. I mean, the people don't send that much money, and I'm not suggesting that you would do it for naked pictures, but you guys must have been.
We knew the visa was, she said, 900, so that was one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but the latest is, I get a call from Virginia saying the Department of Justice.
Uh-oh.
And they want to charge me with conspiracy.
Now, wait a minute. Now, hold on. This could be another scam because they might want money.
I'm positive it's another scam.
They asked for it this morning. They asked me to wire money.
Okay, what do they want?
Tell us you did.
They want like $4,500 for the judge's judicial fees. He said he went in front of a judge.
Okay, do you have the number? Do you have any of the numbers I can call back?
Yeah.
Okay, don't give them to me on the air. Which numbers? Do you have the number to your... What's your lady's name?
Well, her name is Elizabeth. I got a call from a lady that's a paralegal.
Now, where's Elizabeth? Where's your sweetheart from? Elizabeth what? Where is she from?
She's a Canadian girl, but was in Ghana.
From Ghana. Okay. And?
I know better. My friend told me this got to be a scam.
How old is she?
35.
And how old are you?
55.
Okay. So, here's the deal. She preyed on you, really did, and you realize this. Now, what's really bad is they're going to prey on you again because she handed it over, the file, to somebody else. You do know that the justice thing is a scam, right?
That's what I figured.
Because a legit investigation is not going to ask you for money. Did they indicate to you it would go away if you paid this money?
It would, what do you say, abdicate my name, I guess.
Okay. Listen, man.
That's what I told him. I said, I'm not the criminal. I'm the victim here.
Listen, man. This is good stuff for radio.
Okay.
Not
I've
for
got
you.
3 different numbers I can give you. One's in Brooklyn, one's in Virginia.
And what are they all from the investigation?
Well, the latest is they supposedly assigned an attorney in Brooklyn.
All right, you hold on. I want to get some numbers, okay? I really do. And we're going to try to do something. If not today, we'll do it tomorrow. We'll get you back on. Now, listen, Ken, here's the deal, man. For real now, for reals. If you got money and looks, you know, and you're 55 and you're straight, you're going to get a date. Okay. Well, actually, even if you're not straight, you'll get a date. So here's the deal. It depends on what side. No, I'm serious, Ken. There are a lot of real people looking for dates. I mean, there are a lot of real people.
I feel better not to go outside the country. I kind of learned.
No, I mean, who knows about outside the country? But you know, I mean, are you fortunate looking, or would someone go, ugh? Like, I mean.
No, I'm Scandinavian. I'm Norwegian, and.
No, seriously, I think we should try to hook you up. I think that I would love to try.
Deputy Dan single.
I would love to try to hook him up. I'm not kidding, by the way, and I'm not making fun of him. Suzanne, get a photograph of our Scandinavian hunk of man here and see. We can hook him up. How about, wouldn't that be fun? Think about if we could do that. Think about it.
Yeah.
No, wouldn't it be fun? Mark. Don't you have a romantic bone in your body?
Of course.
Wouldn't it be fun?
I got Suzanne a vacuum for Valentine's Day.
Okay, we got more coming right up.
This report is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken.
I know better, but I sent the money anyway.
And now he's wondering
he doesn't deserve a date.
if the IRS is real or whatever they are.
Honestly, God. No, you don't want to hook him up. He's too dumb to be on a date.
No, we hook him up with some woman that takes all his money.
There you go.
But we get half.
Yeah, that's right. We got to get a cut, Dan. We got to get a cut for that. I know, but I hate it when I hear somebody say that. You know, they start that line, I know better. No, you don't. Obviously, because you sent the money. If you knew better, it wouldn't have happened.
A Canadian in Ghana?
Yeah.
That's that. Remember that one lady trying, or the guy trying to get his dog back? Remember that dog?
That was all fake.
You think so?
I don't believe a word of that bullshit.
They spent a lot of money on that dog.
I don't either.
Oh wait, didn't they people donate some money for him to get it back?
Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank Duran. If you're buying real estate, call him. Have him list your place. He'll completely clean it up. He will stage it. They will do outbound marketing, not just listing it, but outbound marketing to 100,000 people or more each campaign with videos and 360 tours, all at no charge, of course, a commission if he sells it. And here's the deal. He asks for 1 day listing. That's your commitment. If you don't like what you see after that, let him go, but you won't. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
I might make a move out of Walmart. I've been watching this thing go from 98 to 99 and a quarter for 4 months straight in like the same pattern.
First at 303-761-6400. If you call your insurance, you're going to get a claim. Even if they don't
You know what? I thought Nike was going to take a dive because that what's his name?
The shoe blew up.
No. The porn lawyer, the creepy porn lawyer, said he has evidence that they were paid athletes. Yeah, but I agree.
Do you think he has evidence?
They are against.
But Nike makes so much money, dude.
I know, but if they get caught doing.
Do you think he has evidence?
That, well, I don't know.
They give him a few. He had evidence against everybody.
He gives Italians a bad name.
Is he Italian?
Avenetti?
No, that's Swiss.
Century RV, like in the 100 mark, Century, C-E-N. T-U-R-Y. CenturyRV.com will take you to a site where you'll see a bunch of cougars. Let me amend that. I'm talking about travel trailers called cougars, new and used. You know, they have new units under $24,000. Seriously, these guys are great. They are out west in Lakewood, just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims, and they're north on I-25 at the 119 turnoff. 303-453-1111. They also have a great service department for RVs. CenturyRV.com.
I thought the Cougars you were going to set this guy up with Century RV.
Cougars and lot lizards.
And Ken, it's different. Cougar Ken.
Oh, I don't think we'll get this guy date.
Did you get a picture of him?
Yeah.
He better keep.
Come on.
He better throw his line out in Russia.
And if you wish, send her another 1,800 and pray.
Get his email address. I'll start typing them. Hey, honey, you're looking good.
He's a good guy.
He looks like a nice guy.
I feel sorry. He's 55. Liar. He's 10 years younger than me.
It's impossible.
Counters and floors, and even replacement windows and doors. You have all one refrigerated.
The only time I really look old is when I see my picture.
800-362-8370.
Or when I look in the mirror, I don't see it. But when I see a photograph, I go, holy shit, who's that old guy? I actually saw myself in a picture one time and said, who the fuck? Oh my God, that's me. You don't look old. No, I'm serious. I'm serious when I say that. When I see myself in a photo, not in a mirror though. Isn't that funny? Do you ever see yourself in a photo and go, yeah?
I did that with my
what
weight.
the hell? Like, you know, like what the hell went wrong there?
931-6560.
And my wife's kind, she'll tell me how good I look in the same photo, and I'm like, I'm not stupid, sweetheart. I can see.
What do you want?
Yeah,
what do you,
exactly. Yeah,
you want to go to dinner? What do you want?
I told you the gum rewards is closed. The credit card doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh, of course he won.
Fifth term.
He won by 10,000.
Tom Martino here. Welcome.
30713 Talk. Listen, I want to remind you that we have in the studio crackerjackmudjacking.com, the finest in mudjacking and free estimates. That's the important thing, okay? So you'll never go wrong when it comes to finding out. I mean, if you have to replace it, go ahead, but get a free estimate first to fix it. 303-410-7787. And then Bill McGovern over at First Call Heating and Air. I've known him for years, and he came back to the referral list. He's been in business for many, many years. 303-794-8324. I like his website, 303hvac.com. Let's talk. He wants to talk about a veteran thing, don't you? Okay, just give out the website because you do a lot of stuff for veterans. What's that website?
So the website is www.tridenttrue, all one word, 2 T's, .org.
Okay, Trident, like the missile, tridenttrue.org. Okay, do you have any events coming up?
We do. If you go to the website, it'll show you everything that's coming up.
How long have you been helping out vets?
About 2.5 years now. It's a nonprofit 501c3.
And what moved you to that?
We have a friend, Jesse Clay.
Yeah.
He's a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
And he wanted to put together a foundation for veterans, helping veterans, and we decided we want a part of it.
Cool. TridentTrue.org. Okay. Now, Ken, we got your photograph, okay, bro?
Right.
And let's just say I think I can work with it. We can.
That's not what you said during the break.
I was just kidding. No, what I was saying is I hope you love your right hand. Okay, now, listen. I meant to put a ring on it. Oh, no, the left hand you put the ring on. I'm sorry. I meant the ring. Listen, I want to truly, now, no kidding aside, I want these numbers, and we're going to have some fun with this tomorrow. I want, especially if they called you and tried to scam you even more. That sucks.
I spent like 20 minutes with a lady that said she works for the Department of Justice. She gave me her phone number, an address.
Oh, great. Great, great.
Was she single?
So, yeah. So, listen, Ken, send that to us. Suzanne, did you get that information from Ken so we can set them up? I'd like to, we really want this information, Ken. So, hold on a second. Suzanne will tell you where to email it. Is she in there? Yeah, there you go, Suzanne. Let's do this tomorrow. It'll be fun. Let's talk to Erica. Erica, you got a Subaru problem. What? Oh, it's from Pueblo. What's going on?
Yeah, so I bought an '06 Subaru as is used back in August of last year.
Okay, and so it was used from a lot?
Yes, from Central Auto in Castle Rock.
Oh, in Castle Rock. Okay, used Subaru?
Yeah, it had 91,000 miles on it. We paid $7 for it. We thought it was a good deal. Subarus are notorious for their head gasket problems. So back in
yeah, the turbos. Was this a turbo?
It is not a turbo, no, but it has some leaking, and so my husband and I decided just to take it up to Subaru Pueblo in February They did the head gaskets, the timing belt, the pulley, spark plugs, water pump.
Wow.
All this stuff. I spent $3,097.
How is it running now?
It is broke down in my driveway. 23 days later, the first time I take it out of Pueblo, I have suffered catastrophic engine failure.
Did it throw a rod?
Oh, wait a second. Erica, you spent all this money with Subaru of Pueblo only to have it blow up?
It could be the bottom end, man. It happens.
You had the whole top end done, right?
Yes, and what they had told me is they actually said that my camshaft locked up from lack of oil supply.
But the cam is on the top. Your cam locked up? Isn't the camshaft on the top or not? No, it's not. Well, hold on. It's the camshaft. The crank is below. The cam, overhead cam. Is it an overhead cam? You wouldn't know. Never mind. It doesn't matter. I only know enough to be dangerous. Erica, here's what we need to know. Were you cheated? That's the point. Or not. It could just be that it's a piece of crap. What do you think? No, seriously.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, because I'm like, did I just spend $10,000 on a car for 6 months? I don't know.
So it blew up 6 months after they did it?
No, 23 days after. 5 days after I picked it up, I had a check engine light come on, and they wanted another $350.
All right, why did they say you had a lack of oil to the cam?
Because my oil pressure switch.
Well, the switch doesn't give you low pressure. It just indicates low pressure. I mean, what are they talking about? What did they say failed? What did they say is wrong?
They said that all they wrote, because I have a little thing, because they didn't want to pay to take the engine apart.
Okay, what did they think failed?
The camshaft locked up, and the lack of oil supply ended up breaking the new timing chain that they put on.
But okay, did they say then that ruined the engine because it's an interference engine? Did they mention that?
Yes, they said that they got the engine to run, however, there were valve train noise.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
We should get Kevin or somebody.
We need to get someone. You're way down in Pueblo?
Yes, I actually live in Pueblo.
Honest, accurate.
Listen, hold on. Let's get her back for car day. Let's get someone to look at it. Maybe, oh, man, I mean, she can't drive the damn thing. What are we going to do? And let's do that dating scam tomorrow. We're out of time. Don't forget, folks, referrallist.com for help, information, and referrals. And save all your problems for me.
Oh, man.
It's time to...
She's got 10. She spent 10 grand with her 6 months.
Have you heard of camshaft locking up?
And said lack of oil made it happen. So I don't buy those.
But they just did $3,000 worth of work to
like a Mazda.
Why would they
Unless you just have, unless you make sure it's done.
I've heard as the head gaskets get done, that you throw a rod because the compression's so much heavier. But I don't know. I don't think that sucks.
That should have been a rod.
That's a lot of dough, man, for 6 months.
But you said timing chain.